Hello everyone, welcome to the Reaping of Goldenfields. How's everyone doing tonight? I am Chris, I will be your dungeon master for tonight as we play some Dungeons and Dragons, and we're thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg. Hello everyone, hope you're having a nice evening and everyone's doing well, or morning, or afternoon, because time zones are a thing. Anyway, yes, we're playing Dungeons and Dragons, and we are 2 sessions into the Reaping of Goldenfields, where things are going, well...
Bad.
Yes.
Absolutely fine.
Well, we'll get to all of that in a second, but why don't we go around and meet all of our lovely players first. They're all playing individual characters. They all have character sheets in front of them that tell them what they can and can't do. They very rarely say what you can't do. It's more what you can do and what you can attempt. I think that's the best way to put it. But yes, they all have their lovely characters. Let's go around and meet them, and I play literally everyone else. Let's start today with Mike. Please give your name, pronouns if you wish, character's name, their pronouns, and how they're feeling about the current situation that you all find yourselves in.
I am playing Mike. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Flory Brooke, who uses he, him pronouns. Okay. Question mark? Exclamation mark? In my notes, I've literally put, Orcus, well, fuck. So... that's
brilliant.
Good. Good. I think that is a fair assessment of the current situation. Thank you, Mike. Rebecca.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I use she, her pronouns. I'm playing Ava, who does the same. Mike summed it up, really. But Ava is feeling more maybe conflicted because on the one hand, Orcus, fuck. But on the other hand, there is a voice in her head currently gleefully cackling in jubilation. Mm-hmm. So Ava needs to go sit in a corner and talk to her brain, maybe, for a bit, which is always fun. So yeah, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, your brain's definitely fine. Let's move on, shall we? Evie.
Hi, I'm Evie. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Ephemera, who also uses she, her pronouns. And Ephemera has a slightly different tone on the Orcus, oh fuck. More in terms of she's a bit perturbed at the moment. She's been here to find answers and they're just getting sidetracked with this demon that she doesn't really know who they are or why this is relevant.
Yeah.
So a bit annoyed that they're getting all up in the plot.
There's some Orcus in my plot and I don't like it. Lovely, thank you, Evie. Emma.
Hi, I'm Emma. I use pronouns M, and I'm playing Prosperous. He uses pronouns P. Oh boy, do I have feelings. These people did not come into my home. They're from my home. They're basically carrying out a terrorist attack on my home, which is also, the center of where my worship is. And they're trying to destroy everything. So I'm not okay with it. And yeah.
Suffer.
Don't think Prosperous really took on board anything about Orcus because, the thing that had just happened was too shocking and awful.
Yeah.
Just another thing to hit.
No, as in these people are trying to take down my faith, not here is another thing I can hit, Chris. Did you not hear anything I just said?
Just saying, there's another thing.
It always works that. Just hit it. That does work.
Just hit it, you'll be fine. Cool, Ed.
Hello, my name is Ed. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, Viorica Yordash, who is excited. Doesn't seem to be the right word to use, but that is kind of the feeling. It's sort of stuff is happening, and that it's fascinating. But I worry that he's going to pretty shortly realize, oh no, actually this is quite serious. Because at the moment he's got that kind of I don't know what's going on, but great. Now. And because I don't think he's even got to this sort of Orcus fuck bit yet, because he's I have seen into the depths of the, and thinks that he's seen it all, but I don't think he has.
Cool, right, well, my task is before me. Make the players understand the Orcus situation. Good, we can come to that. Cool. Well, we'll get to that very shortly. Before we kick off, the stream runs for about 3 hours, and there's a roughly 5-10 minute break somewhere in the middle. We're delighted to be sponsored. We have lovely sponsors. First of all, the wonderful Hero Forge. Hero Forge offer fully customizable tabletop minis with dozens of fantasy races and thousands of parts to choose from. You design your miniature online using a 3D character model, and that character model can then be printed and sent to you, so you get a printed mini, or you can have digital versions like we have on our screen floating right now. So lots and lots of exciting things you can do with Hero Forge. Check them out at heroforge.com. We are also sponsored by UltraPro. They are tabletop organizers, and they provide a variety of lovely things for the tabletops, for the people who like tabletop. That's not their tagline, but I quite like it. But anyway, I've got lots of things on my desk that are Ultra Pro. What am I going to choose? I'm going to show you one of my favorites. This is my Gazer figurine, which is like a little beholder baby. And these are figurines of adorable power. We have quite a few of them, and there are quite a few to choose from at Ultra Pro. And if you fancy one for yourself, head into chat today and say hello, and you might be in with a chance for a gift card to win yourself some Ultra Pro. So join us in chat and head to ultrapro.com to find more of their excellent stuff. Mm-hmm. We're also sponsored by Elderwood Academy, who are the premium purveyors of bespoke gaming-themed gear, specifically around dice. Not the dice themselves, but the boxes that you keep them in, the things that you roll them in. There is one of the dice boxes Emma's holding up right now. That's also a very small dice box. Emma does have quite small hands, but that is a genuinely miniature dice box with miniature dice in it. It's got what's it called? It's a spellbook deck box. That's another one, spellbook box there from Rebecca as well. They also do Codex dice towers. I show mine off all the time, but here it is again because I can't stop showing it off. How gorgeous it is.
Oh, pretty.
Now I love it. I should use it more. Digital dice are so much more useful when you're a perennial DM.
Yeah, that's good. That's hilarious.
But yes, Elderwood, you can make your own. Again, you can design them however you see fit. All of the ones here were custom made for the people who have them, and you can find them at elderwoodacademy.com. That's right. And if you use the code roll together, that's in all caps with a hyphen in the middle, at checkout you get 10% off. So do make yourself some lovely Elderwood. And also it's nearly Christmas, so make it for someone else.
Now's the time. Yeah.
Now is the time. That reminds me, there's a Black Friday sale on for Hero Forge. Just pop quickly back up to there. Can't remember what it is. Mods, you know, so can you pop it into chat right now? There is a Black Friday sale on, and there's a thing in chat with more information about that specifically for Hero Forge, but I'll leave the mods to that. That's fine. Cool. We also have some lovely supporters. D&D Beyond, they offer digital D&D, digital character sheets. They do encounter trackers, which saves my bacon every day. So check them out at D&D Beyond, and that's on the side of the screen. We're also supported by Level Up Dice. They have the Table Shakers range of big, chunky metal dice. I've got one right here, and this range you can get for yourself. Just pop a link into chat. There'll be a link for the Table Shakers range, and buy yourself some today if you fancy those. Again, good for Christmas. And we're also supported by two lovely D&D video games, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms and Warriors of Waterdeep. There are loads of, things you can pop into chat on the bottom of the screen. The mods can help you out as well. Basically, you can download either of the games for free. They are both free to play. And you can then also get some freebies. For Idle Champions, that's an Electrum chest. And for Warriors of Waterdeep, you get some free gems if you click on the link.
As Ed will tell you, the hunt for gems is real.
Very much so. Gems are very important in Warriors of Waterdeep. Also, Warriors have just released a really lovely new part of the adventure. There's a new chapter of the adventure called Shimmer Sky Valley, which is all snow and ice themed and very, very cool. And you can start playing that immediately if you download the game today. There'll be an ad in the break, so you can check that out as well. But yes, that's our lovely sponsors and supporters, and thank you so much to all of them. Couldn't do it without you. Speaking of people who couldn't do things without, our D20 Club, that's our Patreon members. There's a link in chat. Again, you can join them for just a £1, $, local currency, one of, that sort of thing. And support us there. Join a lovely community of people talking about what we do. Our D20 Club is awesome. One of them recently built a wiki of all of our shows, and oh my god, it's
so good. If you're confused about anything that's happened previously,
there's a place you can. I think the mods were talking about putting an exclamation mark wiki code into the chat, which might be there, it might not be there. If not, they can put a link in. But I'll leave that to the mods as well. They'll know better than I do. But yes, do check that out as well. In the meantime, we are Roll Together RPG on all of the socials. We're also available as podcasts on YouTube. If you're watching us listening to us on podcasts, watching on YouTube, hello. If you want to chat along with all the fans and get more involved, watch us live on Twitch, which is where we sort of assume that you are right now. But you might not be. And if you aren't, good for you. Anyway, that's all our AOB bar one. We play with a diverse group of players who play a diverse set of characters, wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are trans and GNC positive, and we encourage and champion trans and GNC players, characters, DMs, mods, the lot, the shebang, all of it in our games. The DM and players may portray characters that are of different gender to their own, and while we aim to avoid misgendering, we do acknowledge it does sometimes happen, have a company policy in place for correction should the need arise. This is a folk horror campaign, as you may have caught from the allusions some of the players were making. Ergo, safety is important. We use a variety of safety tools from the TTRPG Safety Toolkit, and there's also !safety. You can pop into chat right now, and there is a link to content warnings, and we do encourage you to take a look and make sure that nothing that you see is going to be upsetting for you. Anyway, all that out of the way, time to dive in. Episode 3! And welcome back. So, last time our players started to realize that these undead that were appearing out of the ground in Goldenfields are not reanimated corpses of people in Goldenfields. They're coming from somewhere far, far worse. But where is that? What is going on? Why is it happening?
It's Orcus.
Yeah, we didn't... I'm getting there. I was building up to... The players didn't find that out very early on and spent a lot of time dealing with sheep because it's set on a farm. And in doing so, also made their way through one of Chontea's sacred groves, finding it to be quite badly defaced and damaged by a group of, it seems, other worshippers who were trying to destroy one of the treants that are held in very high regard in Chontean worship. After defeating them, the party started to put two and two together and realized that these worshippers might be worshipping Orcus, the demon lord of undeath, who is TM not good. So, not good TM? Not good TM. So that was where we sort of left off by that point. You had all just defeated this grouping and you were with the treant Lefurlus in this sacred grove, starting to put together that you needed to leave and potentially head towards the abbey nearby, which is the temple of Chontea, the main temple of Chontea in Goldenfields. And I think that's where we left off. Not much time has passed. We still haven't had any rests yet, but don't worry, I'm aware that you need them. So, yeah, are we all continuing to move through the copse with the sacred grove in it, trying to reach the abbey? Is anyone talking to each other? Are you moving with pace? Or are you taking your time?
How does Ephemera look? As in bloodied?
Well, she doesn't bleed, but
sorry.
she's slightly battered. Pretty battered.
Absolutely.
Hang on. Point of order. If you don't bleed, you don't bruise.
You would, because there's
No,
still
it's
blood
just
in
like,
there.
you know when you have a marshmallow and bits have been torn off of it?
Oh, nice.
Right, great, lovely.
Not the same colours, but yes, no, that works. Wow.
Probably quite similar colours.
That's what it's like.
I've never had a green marshmallow. Yeah.
This is the content we came here for. Good. Good.
Anyway, yes, there will be a Viorica following. I'm assuming there's like a marching order.
Yeah, we don't need to fully define like who's in front, but
That's what I mean.
if you're all moving together through out of the copse towards the abbey, that's fine for now.
Before we begin moving, can I just quickly divine sense?
Sure.
Any fiends or undead or celestials? I mean, if there happen to be any celestials here.
Well, never say never. What Lefurlus was telling you from the last session, your divine sense does start to pick up on. The ground itself is unhallowed. There is a sense of wrongness about this entire space right now that you really don't understand why yet, fully. In terms of fiends or unders, like specific monsters or specific creatures, none that you can pick up on in your immediate vicinity,
Okay.
but there is a definite sense of wrongness.
That's fine. I was just more looking for, like, is there anything that's going to be a problem for this grove if we leave it.
What's the range on it?
60 foot.
Not within 60 foot, no.
Okay, fine.
So
Do you have a visual for your detect undead?
Oh yeah.
No, I reach down, I plant a seed in the ground, and then I get like a ping back from it, but I don't think there's anything particularly, like it's not like a ripple out or anything, it's very internal.
Lovely.
In which case, you plant the seed and you don't get a sense of like, I think you get a sense that the seed is struggling to gain any life, because build anything out of this ground because it's unhallowed. I think that's probably the best way to put it.
Interesting.
Does anything ping within the party?
To be fair, we've talked about this before, so let's make sure that's clear. Ephemera is clearly undead, and Ava does give off a slight, a whiff, soupçon of undead.
An odor.
Only undead. Good to know.
Yeah, only undead specifically. I think it's also fair to say that Viorica's got a slight.
Oh yeah.
No, only sex fiends. Something about Viorica is, I'm going to say, off, but it's not like the off of undeadness or the off. It's more like a sort of, like it's something of sort of like, there's something, like Viorica's got something about him. There's a little bit
goth, potentially.
Sure.
Let's go with that.
Is the fire out?
Yes, the fire was out. The fire was dealt with. It didn't spread too far. One of the holy trees that was animated was burned quite badly to a point where it stopped being animated. But much like I described, these trees have been formed and sculpted and even charred and burned in places, and then the regrowth is part of the worship in this grove. So no lasting damage that is an issue.
Sorry, Ed, I jumped in over your healing.
Sorry?
I jumped in over your healing. You were mid-healing, Evie.
Oh, that's what I mean. But yes, for the next bit, it's the Viorica goes up to, Ephemera, is it?
Yes, that's me. Hello.
Hello.
Viorica.
Indeed. Thank you for remembering. But you look somewhat chewed. Are you okay?
Oh, I guess I am a little bit a bit ragged.
I have a certain amount of capacity in healing. If you would like some.
Yes, yeah, that would be very helpful. Although I'm not likely to die again anytime soon, but a little bit would probably be good.
Oh, you are right. Fascinating. I don't think I've ever healed. Fascinating. And what is your maximum hit points, if I may ask?
63.
Oh, fine. In which case, yep, you're getting a third level one.
Level 12.
Yes, I remember now.
Poor thing.
That's not bad. Oh, you only actually get 12 hit points.
Ooh,
back.
that's poor.
Yeah,
It's
sorry.
something.
That's what I mean. But yes, that happens.
Thank you very much.
Ooh, also, actually, I'm going to have to be very careful about this. The problem is it's going to sound awful.
Do it.
Okay, sorry. The what Viorica is going to do, I don't have the courage to try and do it. I'm going to sound like such an idiot. It's not meant to be patronizing, but it's along the lines of, I'm sure everything's going to be okay, and the fact that you're a different kind of being is wonderful, and that kind of stuff, and means that you get 5 temporary hit points.
Oh.
Because I realized that 12 is not enough, so you may as well get that as well. That's cool.
What are you using to do that?
Mantle of Inspiration. Oh, that's everybody.
It's everybody.
Okay. Well, in which case, the speech is to Ephemera, but I guess everyone else hears it.
You will
sort
get
of-
5 temps.
Yeah. We'll get 5 attempts.
How bad is Ephemera still looking?
On a completely random numerical scale,
Yeah.
about 30 out of 63. You know.
Okay, that's not good enough.
That's what I mean.
That's not good enough.
Lost an arm or two.
Can
Oh.
I noodle on over? Ava does not noodle, she
I
glidles.
was going to say.
How does one noodle?
Veracity does it.
Yes.
Rusty bumbles and noodles and bed bibbles at times.
Lovely.
Exactly. I would like to, what happens mechanically is Ephemera will heal 12 hit points. But what I'd like that to look like is Ava just reaches inside her robe and pulls out a little sewing kit. And we'll just sew some of the biggest gashes shut again. Maybe there's some magic in there as well. Who knows? But it just looks like a little sewing kit that we've probably done a few times together in the last few months.
Okay, now I'm intrigued and I have to ask. Evie, does Ephemera feel pain?
Yes, but like very numbed.
Okay.
As in, it's a sensation rather than an actual problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like you know when your arm's dead?
Yes.
You can kind of feel when there's an impact.
Exactly. But it's an impact,
Right.
not a feeling. Yeah.
I can also not heal you that way if you'd rather.
No, absolutely fine. I'm going to have some really garish stitches just all over.
Do you already have garish stitches all over?
I would think so, yeah.
It's just a patchwork at this stage. That's
Of
awesome.
whatever colour thread
Yeah,
that Ava happens
exactly.
to have on her at the time.
It's green at the moment.
Okay, well, yes.
Right.
The character art challenge for people.
I mean, I want to get on with the adventure, but also, are we talking
Sorry, yes.
lime acid green, or are we talking more of like a wood, like soft green?
Or would you rather? It's your skin.
Let's go with like a mossy green.
Mossy. It's a mossy green, Chris.
Splendid, great, lovely.
Nice and mouldy.
I think Prosper's going to head over to Floro and like put a hand on your shoulder and like not lean on you, but there's definitely like some slight leaning, but definitely like not letting other people see it as much as possible.
Do you want to roll a performance check to do that subtly?
Kind of roll a deception check.
Um.
It makes absolutely no difference.
Okay. Then no.
That is a 13.
Ooh. Passives on perception, everyone.
Passive
18.
insight by any chance?
Insight, probably.
Interesting.
Can I slide out a help action swiftly?
I think so. Yeah, absolutely. Slide out a help action. Why not?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same.
Well, in that case, as soon as I see it and Ava's just kind of stitching me up and I just had healing, I'll just go, oh, you too. And I just kind of put some spores over and give you cure wounds a second level.
I did a bad job of that, didn't I? I say very quietly to Flora.
Ooh,
I mean,
that was 21 points of healing. It's called madness. I got 2 8s.
Amazing.
21. That's great.
big heals.
Just a quick reminder, there are still noises from outside the copse of shouting and screaming occasionally. It's less sort of continuous than it was. Like, you realise after the quite big fight you were having in the middle of the copse that it's now died down to a sort of occasional like shriek that's cut off suddenly, or an occasional sort of shout of fear and then nothing. It's a really sort of bucolic, friendly environment.
We should get to the Abbey. I mean, the Abbot's an idiot, but just in case he needs help.
Yes, let's do what we
Well, he seems to still have your bark skin up, so hopefully we can.
Oh, yeah.
Hope so.
Hopefully he's still in some sort of safe.
Probably about to fade.
And also,
I say that as the fades like that.
I feel like we should ask him some questions.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if he's aware as of what the hell's just happened, but he was aware of the cult before this, so.
I want to know if he was aware of what's happening to the trees. If Emma said this had to have happened over a long period of time, it couldn't have happened today. So what was he? He was not rocking the boat.
Not rocking the boat.
Yeah. Well, let's just rock his boat. Maybe we'll hold him upside down by his ankles, and maybe we'll just ask him some nice questions over a couple.
I just went on a new training course on interrogation, so let's see what we can do.
I'll help.
Are you all heading out of the copse? Are you moving together?
No, Chris, let's just hold the plot off for another half hour, please.
You are welcome to do whatever you like. I am simply the facilitator. If you want to stay here and talk about your feelings, it's fine. I'll just, slowly kill everyone. Good, right. You head out.
Like swift walk, I imagine. Like
Yeah.
near a jog.
Okay, cool. That's fine. As you head out of this area, you are moving out of the copse, which is a small copse that takes up, as I described, about a quarter of the Goldenfields town proper. Is like the spokes of a wheel. There's lots and lots of these quite big communal dwellings where most of the farmers live. It's not a private dwelling kind of place at all. And moving out of this copse, you move into the Abbey, which takes up the good sort of third quarter of this space. There's the two big bits at the sort of the northern side, the copse, and then the Abbey here. Mm-hmm. As you move out towards the Abbey, as described, it has quite an almost Greco-Roman look to it. There's a lot of marble colonnades. It is enclosed. The marble colonnades do have a building inside it, but it is quite a tall building. You would guess it's probably about twice the size of a regular building, but it doesn't have a tower or a steeple or anything like that. It is very sort of squat. It is decorated beautifully. There are wheat sheaf carvings going up and around in a spiral around the columns around the outside. There's also cornucopia-style designs to them as well. Has anyone seen the carvings in, what's it called, Roslyn in Scotland? Yeah. It has a lot of very natural carvings of natural plants and that sort of thing. And it has a very similar vibe to it in a way, with this sort of fecundness to the marble, which is a very strange oxymoron in a way. Also, the situation of the Abbey is rather beautiful. It's right at the top of this hill where the Goldenfields town is on, and it sort of takes up the highest point, and the trees have been cleared around it. And you can see right down across the fields to the walls to the south, and across to the walls to the campus directions, east and west, even almost all the way to the gate, although that is starting to be blocked off a bit by the copse. To the north, if you look that direction, the hill does curve up a little more, and you can't quite get a glimpse over the top. So you are seeing you'd guess about a third of Goldenfields from this view. Looking around, it looks pretty abandoned. The fields themselves look to be rather empty. Most of them have been tilled, and all of the harvest is gone because our Harvestide Festival is the last harvest. You don't see many people at all. The walls look to be very quiet. The Abbey itself, its gates, there is a sort of small forecourt around it, are open, and there are quite a lot of undead bodies scattered around the front, where leading up to the big double doors at the front of it, but they are shut. You can't see any people, though.
Can I divine sense again, just to check if there are any live undead?
Sure. There are no alive undead. 60 feet, and it's blocked by solid walls.
Total cover, yeah.
Yeah. In which case, no, there are no alive undead visible.
All right. I'm going to just...
Apart from ephemera.
Stride
I
up
have
to...
weird mechanics question about Druidcraft.
Absolutely.
Can you use it to, like, give the decomposition process a little bit of a push?
Rules as writ, no, but I have no problem with you using it like that. So you're welcome to you're welcome to start decomposing the bodies if you want to. That's fine.
I would like to do that. Food for the earth more quickly.
Nice.
With how far you said that we could see, could I see my family's farm from this position?
The wall is too high. The wall itself is already about 10, 15 feet high, and the ground on the other side of it is a good 20 feet down. All the ground inside is a bit higher. So you can see to the wall. Seeing beyond it, you're only going to see like a sliver around the top, like not a huge amount. It's not that high up that you can see with that much range across anywhere outside of Goldenfields.
Yeah. And I'm not, if they're outside as well, I wouldn't have to be too worried about them not being able to get away in time, depending on if they were, well, I didn't see them at the festival, so I don't know.
No. Your family live on the North Furrow. There's lots and lots of houses and dwellings, but the North Furrow is miles and miles long. It goes all the way from Waterdeep to here, so it's quite a long beat for you. But yes, that's the current situation. And all the bodies start to, I mean, as you walk around, you just sort of like spores just float out and start to just like slowly decompose the undead, but great. Yeah.
Yeah. And a few like little mushrooms start just to pop out here and there.
Amazing. Yeah.
Can I stride up to the doors?
Yep.
Knock on them very loudly, and basically at the top of my lungs, without like shouting, but very loudly say, "It's prosperous, open the doors."
Sure. As you stride up to the doors and bang on them and say, "It's prosperous, open the doors," you hear from the inside some shouting, couple of different voices. They're quite thick doors. They're also made of stone. And they're also, again, bas relief.
They're made of stone?
Yes, they are. And they're also, again, in bas relief of, again, carvings of nature, particularly of harvestable plants. That was really badly delivered. But yes, okay.
It makes sense.
Does the shouting sound like it's someone coming to open the doors, or does the shouting sound like it's someone in distress?
There's a couple of voices shouting, a bit of backing and forthing. You hear a sort of couple of grinding noises and a couple of sort of heavy breathing pushes. And then
I don't get to try and kick down the stone doors? Because that's
at which point,
hell of an entrance.
At which point, both doors open, and they both open inwards, and they both open, and you can, as they open inwards, hang on, names. God damn it. As they open, Capstan, Dominic, and Asavio are all standing there holding their weapons. In Capstan's case, it's a different one. It's a sword and a shield that he's picked up. And they're all sort of ready there to defend if necessary. But seeing that it's you and some other people, they do sort of, right, good, okay. Marjolaine will poke her head around the corner. Oh, good. All right, that's good. And Elvis will be stepping forward to you. You're alive. Good.
I'll hold out the sword. Do you want it back?
No.
All right, then. I'll go to holster it. In the holster, I don't have any more. It's so irritating.
I've got your armor as well. I grabbed it.
That is good news.
Yeah. The abbot's a bit further in. You
need to go and give him a good shake.
Probably not a good... Why? Why would you want to give the abbot a good shake?
Because he's allowed the entirety of Goldenfields to become unhallowed?
They don't... What? Unhallowed? What are you talking about?
No.
My friends here have got a slightly better understanding of it than I stopped listening after that point. I was very upset.
Right.
Yes.
Can we come in? We'll close the doors again. And as you step inside, you can see that the doors... there's loads and loads of like what look like benches and quite nice chairs and bookshelves with things all over the floor that were clearly just shoved up against the door to make sure it was impassable. And that was all set in place. But they start putting all of that back as Elvis will lead all.
Can I just slap Capstan on the back and go, I'm sorry, mate, I lost your axe.
I like that axe.
I only need one.
Okay. Sword's really small.
It's not how big it... Anyway.
Stepping inside, there's a small, forecourt space, and then passing through, again, a set of double doors. This time, everything inside is made of wood. Passing inside through a almost wooden wall that's been placed. It's almost like what looks almost like a modesty shield, which feels a bit odd. Stepping inside, the rest of the temple, most of it, is one large contiguous space. There is another one of these wooden walls that goes all the way to the ceiling at the far end that you realize is probably going through to the abbot's quarters and similar, but most of this space is one large space designed for various different kinds of worship. Just to give context before I start describing what's actually in here, Prosperous has been here before, Frore's been here before, the Orc has probably been here at some point while arriving. Ava Ephemera, you won't have been here before, but you will have seen, I think you will have experienced Temples of Shantaea before, because if maybe in Ephemera's case, but I can't remember, but in Ava's case, you would have experienced something similar to this before, because Shantaean worship isn't just in Goldenfields, it's all over. There are a variety of smaller, what would be altars or shrines or similar things dotting the walls at the side where different people can worship. They're not worshipping different aspects or anything like that. They're literally just different places to sit. Some of them have a water feature built into them. Some of them are natural spaces with growing plants. Some of them are just statuary. More like what would you prefer than anything specifically meant by any individual space. There is a large dais at the back with a space on it, which is it's almost like an indoor garden. It's been cultivated very, very carefully, and there is a tree growing in the center of it, but the tree moves, and it's a tree ant. It's another one that's in the back, and there are people stood around that as well. This room is full of people. At a first glance looking through, you reckon probably a couple hundred, if not more, and it's probably at this point looking at it quite full. There are about 5,000 people in Goldenfields at any one time, and this abbey is designed to hold roughly a tenth of them at any one given time, because there are what they call sermons all day round, because farmers work at different times, so they will be working in shift patterns and therefore would be able to come at different points for different worshipping hours or sessions. People in here don't look that injured. There's not a lot of like people holding like wounds. There are a couple, but nowhere near as many as you might think. It's mostly people who just look scared. It's not a lot of families. People who work here tend to be in either individuals or in pairings or small groupings or family units without children. People with children tend to want to go and live somewhere a bit more private and find their own farm outside of Goldenfields on the North Furrow or any of the roads that go off it. So this is mostly a working population. But they're not fighters. They're tough and hardy people who work the field all day, but they look a bit shell-shocked, a bit surprised. Most people look like they don't really know what to do in this situation, and a kind of, that sort of milling about where you're like, I should be effective. I have no idea what to do. And there's quite a bit of sort of going and talking to each other and trying to calm people down. There is the occasional sort of sob or people who are quite upset or don't really know what to make of this situation. But people are, when someone is, there's a group that immediately sort of move over and make sure that person is okay. Everyone here seems to know each other quite well as well. Moving through, people will see you moving through, and I think in most of your cases, they don't know you very well, so there won't be that much engagement. Quite a few will come up to Frore with, like, what's going on? Sheriff, do you have any information? Anything we can... And we'll be quite almost pressing on you, Frore, but you're probably used to handling situations like this.
Yeah, he's not too bothered. It's more... He gives, like, almost like a... present, like a pre-prepared sentence, like a guard would say of like, still under investigation, don't no answers just yet. Yeah. Or please proceed to calm the hell down.
For instance,
yeah, just lots of pre-made
I got it. Yeah,
sort of answers, sort of trying to be polite. I mean, he is relatively sort of softly spoken and charming. He's not someone that's, although Mike is quite gruff with his accent, the actual Frory does, it's
got a charm.
Wholesome, I think, maybe a nice word. He is still being understanding of the feelings without giving them anything, because he doesn't want, in fact, I can make a deception check to hide, try not to give his worry away too much, because he doesn't want to...
Yeah, why not? Go for it.
He doesn't want to look worried for the sake of...
No, of course. Yeah.
A good way of putting it. Oh, natural 20. For 22.
You are very convincingly quelling people's fear. Not in a, this is fine, nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
But in a, it's being sorted. It's being worked out. The situation is as under control as it can be in this time, etc., as you move through.
Yeah. He is looking out for any of the guard of the from before. If there are any, he'd like to collect them up at some point.
There are a couple scattered amongst the people here. Not many. Like, I'd say 1 in every 20-ish. The other thing that will be happening is people will be looking at Prosperous. And there is, you would all notice this because it's not, there's a certain amount of excitement and this is good, there's someone here who's dealt with stuff like this before, but also a certain amount of, is Prosperous supposed to have his sword?
Why? Yeah.
Not sure if this is right or not. So the reaction to Prosperous is very much like, yay, like it's sort of a complicated, not quite sure what to make of this situation.
Cool.
But you would all notice that too. as you move through towards the dais with the, I say it's not really an altar, it's more of like a flower bed at the top of it. There are doors at the back again, and as you move forward, the doors are ajar, and Elvis will guide all 5 of you into the back unless any of you peel off or stop.
I just rolled a very bad wisdom saving throw.
Uh-oh.
So Ava does not, she hesitates and doesn't go into the
Interesting.
inner sanctum.
Okay.
Are you being stealthy about it, or do you just literally just not come?
I think it was I failed. I rolled a 2 on the dice, so I think
Walk
it's
into a
not
brick
at
wall.
all stealthy. It's just it's not fine.
You just stop.
Just a stop.
Given that my passive perception is so low, I'm not sure that Vioric would notice this unless.
And you beat a 9.
Roll a
as,
2.
As everyone else steps in, can I just let them go and then step back out?
Sure.
I'm loitering by the entrance, just very concerned, just letting you do your thing, but
You're welcome to join us if you want to, but if you don't want to, you can stay out here. Your insight might be useful though.
How many clerics will be through that door?
They're mostly druids.
That's better.
At least one paladin though.
And your abbot.
A druid.
This is good. Temples, yes. Okay. Nice sword.
I like it.
That was lovely.
I will give Ephemera a reassuring look and a slightly embarrassed.
Oh.
Ava is always the grown-up, sensible one. Ephemera saw her not being grown-up and sensible. Oh no.
Oh no.
But then over that, trying to be very reassuring look, and we'll head on through.
I would like to give your hand a reassuring squeeze as you go
I
past.
think I might just hold your hand if that's
Oh, yeah, it's held back with reassuring squeeze.
Ephemera's hand is very cold.
It is.
That's all right. Mine's a bit clammy.
Made for each other. So, as
Called a clammy episode name.
Oh, no.
as you step inside this inner sanctum, and it is an inner sanctum as you step inside, as you Prosperous, you already knew this, but as the others, probably none of you have stepped inside this bit before, why would you? Back here, there is a very large statue of a visual representation of Chantea. As a human, not as a halfling. Chantea used to be a halfling goddess, but has slowly become more naturally engaged with by the rest of Faerun to a point where visualizations tend to vary in terms of species. But yes, a humanoid representation of Chantea, looking very beneficent, and that sort of very matronly look about of, I'm going to seed the land, I'm going to, there's a look of like, again, it's hard to say fecundity in this context, but it is that look of like maternal, making sure that everyone's being looked after and well kept. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Thank you, Rebecca. Specifically wasn't using the words Earth Mother because that's what the cult call her, but yeah.
Sorry.
That's fine, but yes.
Just, as I walk in with Ava, I'll just look at it and be like, I never liked that one. She never looks like that to me. Oh.
What does she look like to you?
More alive, lively, less
It
Well-
is.
smiley.
I was quite liking the smiley. It makes a change.
Oh, she's cheerful, just not quite so like,
Insipid.
yes, word.
Good word, yeah.
Yeah.
There is a water feature around the base of this, which has some plant growth in it and growing out of it, but it looks cultivated. Off to
Cultivated.
everything's a trap. Everything's a trap. Yes, to the one side is a closed-off space with a door that looks like it's probably living quarters, but to the other side is what looks like a desk and some paperwork, and one of those nice desks with like space growing over the top of it, with wooden shelves growing up with various things around the different sides of it, and it looks used and lived in. And the abbot, who you all met earlier, is sat at the desk and turns around in a swivelly chair. It is a sort of very early swivelly chair as you all come in. Right. Hello.
Can I walk over to the abbot, put my sword on the floor between both hands in front of me, in a position that is not threatening, but just makes him very aware that I have it. Right. At this moment in time, either you're incompetent or you've allowed people to unhallow Goldenfields under your watch.
What?
So which one is it?
Unhallow? What are you talking about?
Insight check.
Nice. Good idea.
Um,
No point me doing that.
Well, unlike the Taylor Swift
Hang on,
song,
hang on.
Abbott, currently we're standing on unhallowed ground.
Number one, you don't say that in character. And number two, let's have this insight roll first, please.
24.
24.
Nice.
Got a 22 on Ferrari as well.
Yeah.
I got a 28, so
Wow.
We beat Ferrari, basically.
Dorothy isn't even going to try.
Oh, rolled real bad.
He doesn't know what Prosperous is talking about, but all of you rolled above a 20. There is in the back of the head the kind of oh no, that kind of. It's the look of someone who's been caught out, like hand in the cookie jar, but also in a way not that's culpable, in a way that's just incompetent.
When you've been turning a blind eye for something and hoping it won't come back to bite you.
Precisely that.
Cool.
Precisely that. Unhallowed. I mean, there's some strange undead nonsense going on, but I'm sure it can all be solved, and the guard are going to come and let us know it's fine relatively soon, right? Right?
And the guard are very well equipped to handle a demon lord, are they?
What?
You heard me.
Now, look, tries to stand up to create some authority, but is too short. Now, look, I understand that this is peculiar. It's a peculiar situation. I'm not going to deny that for a second, but I think it's a bit much to be bandying about concepts like that. Prosperous?
You're inferring that Prosperous is lying to you.
No, I didn't say that, did I? I'm saying that. Look, is it possible that some things have gone wrong? Yes, I'd be the first to admit it, that things are clearly getting out of hand. But in the same vein, I think it's also quite fair to say that I doubt it's that bad. Demon lords?
looking very nonchalant, I would like to say into his mind, you need to start talking now, and you need to start telling us the truth.
That matches perfectly with what I want to do. At the same time, can Ava minor illusion Orcus's, it's a ram's skull, over her own face and just walk slowly. And she's about, and Ephemera is doing the talking, so Ava doesn't have to.
Can you both roll me an intimidation check?
I'm a +9 to intimidation.
I think it is fair to say that you both have given yourself advantage with those choices.
Oh, advantage.
Yes, please.
Okay, good. I needed that advantage.
Good. What's with only a 5?
Got a dirty 20 on that.
Very nice.
And that is 15 + 9, 24.
Okay, I am going to roll. The Abbot's not a complete loser. Rolled a 7.
Evie, can we just team up for every campaign forevermore?
Yes, absolutely.
The Abbot will just fall back into his chair and sort of sit there. Do you not know about this because you're involved?
With a demon lord? We'd hardly be here.
Well, I don't know, do I? It's a bit out of my wheelhouse.
Correct, it is out of your wheelhouse. Luckily for you, it's in mine.
Nice.
Okay. And please help us sort this out. I don't know what to do.
Oh, good, I was hoping you'd say that.
I don't know what's going on. This is. I didn't know any of this was going on. I thought it was just people playing silly buggers.
What?
Next time, could you just not let the people play silly buggers? Just say no.
But it's all about not rocking the boat. It's all about not rocking the boat. If someone's going to do something stupid like, murder an animal and go, oh, Chontea said it was the right thing to do and it'll make the soil more fertile, I'm not going to be the one to turn around and go, that's definitely wrong. I'm going to go, maybe do a bit less of that, gentle.
No, but in future you're going to have the shepherds, and the shepherds you can send to that person to go, that's not it, mate.
Well, that does depend on there being any future. So first, why don't you tell us what the childish games have been that you have so generously turned a blind eye to, so we know?
Well, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I heard rumors about these people doing some, and I don't know which people. It might be everybody. It might be nobody. I don't know. But there were people doing like sacrifices and stuff in Jontea's name and saying that like it would make the earth better for growing plants. We had some bad harvests, you know? And, well, I just thought, what harm would it do? Jontea's not going to pay any attention to that. I asked Jontea and she said, I won't pay any attention to that anyway, don't worry.
From where I come, if you permitted such blasphemy to go unchecked, your head would be nailed to the spikes outside.
Well, I'm not from where you're from, thank you very much. I'm from Goldenfields, where we do things proper. We do things right.
We've never been taken over by Orcus, so I'm not sure that you have much of a leg to stand on.
Can I just...
You clearly don't do things proper if you've allowed your sacred groves to become unhallowed ground, so...
What now?
Yes, people have been defacing the trees. Did you notice that?
People have been That's not on, that is. Right, I'm starting to get cross now. That's not a thing that we can allow. That's too far. That's too much.
And it's not just a recent thing either. This has been a calculated effort for years upon years.
Oh. Well, that's...
Whatever reason, they in fact actually moved the calendar up slightly. From all the evidence that we can see, this wasn't supposed to happen till, well...
At least the evening.
An evening, aye.
They did it this afternoon. Did something provoke it? Did someone provoke them?
Actually, Prosperous, I have a sneaky feeling you interrupting the march may have had something to do with that.
Yeah, the parade reaches the temple by sundown, and then we light the bonfire. That's the point.
Ava's making
definitely that. Definitely
noises. Can I insight check Ava? Ava's making odd noises.
Ava, into your mind. Should we not say anything?
I rolled bad.
Up to you.
Fiorica, do you remember what I said to you that made you jump out of your skin just before the parade?
Yes. It doesn't.
There were demons in the maze.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, I do. That there were demons in the maze.
Yes. So, myself and Ava may have run into a demon-looking fellow while conquering the maze, and they may have approached, and we may have gently attacked, and they may have gently said, "Game on."
Gently.
It was less gentle.
This is a lot of new information.
Yes.
I don't know anything about any of this. Look, I will admit, maintaining the sacred grove has not been something I've personally put much effort into over the past couple of years. I've been handing it out to some of the acolytes, but What?
It's specifically.
They may be dead now.
Well, I mean, none of them are here. There's a...
Yes, who? We can go find them. Who are they? Names!
Sorry. Well, there's old Tim. He comes in every other day, and he will give you a list of 10 names who are just locals. Like, they're locals who do odd jobs. Prosperous, I think it's fair to say you recognize one of the names as one of the people that you saw the dead body of in the copse.
Yes, I've killed one of them. This afternoon, in fact, trying to burn the tree whose name I can't remember. Lefellis.
Okay, so this is a bigger problem than just... Well, maybe not. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the cult got the acolytes involved, and that's when this all kicked off on a grand scale. I mean, I have to assume...
This is not someone coming in and bringing people from outside Goldenfields to do this. This is someone who has corrupted people within Goldenfields to do this internally. We can't trust people.
Right.
Anyone who you think you can trust, you can't trust them.
But I can trust you instead?
Well, you didn't trust me to start with, so what's the difference?
I mean, that disappoints on...
Prosperous.
Yes.
It is prosperous.
Yes.
I admire your instincts to fill in your person, but I thought the point was hoping that they would have answers for us. They seem to be completely incompetent, and surely what's left for them to do is either resign or face trial for gross negligence.
Well, hang on a minute now.
With actually fixing the problem.
Well, at the moment, any further action is just going to upset people. So you can stay here and we'll talk to Chanterre and find out what she wants later. Do you know a way that we can get to the brewery safely?
Well, it's straight down the road.
Not on the road.
I've only ever gone down the road.
Right, fine. We're leaving now. Somewhere safe to rest.
Well, here.
Right.
Where else is the safest building in all of Goldenfields, apart from the brewery, of course?
Right.
It's got a tower.
It's got a tower.
Yeah. I don't know where... I assumed that Strog would be turning up in the next couple of hours with the guard and saying it's all dealt with and sorted and we can go back to the festival. Is that not what happened?
No.
Anymore.
Right.
You have suddenly lost total control of Goldenfields as of this moment.
Right.
Ava would quite like to do something slightly nasty. No pain, just a little bit intimidating to the abbot. Is everyone okay with this?
Yeah.
Okay. At this point, with this refusal to accept what is going on, the mechanic is Ava will cast Mage Hand, but what it looks like is a third dripping, slightly spectral, skeletal, mottled green arm coming out from inside her robes that will pin the abbot to the wall. There's no damage, just pressure. Mm-hmm. And she will get very close to him and say, "You're repeatedly failing to grasp the enormity of this situation is making me nervous. I don't like being nervous. I need you to swear that what we have told you stays here. You do not trust anyone. You do not speak to anyone. You do not act in any way. You get into that precious little unrocked boat of yours. You put a blanket over your head and you come out when we're done."
Okay. Right.
Do I believe him?
Roll an insight check.
Just on the side.
Yeah.
I hope the generals in the British Army can talk like that. That was awesome.
I keep on switching between E-dice and my actual dice. And I just rolled a natural 20 on the E-dice. So that comes a 34.
Yay! 30 bit early.
Ooh,
Well done.
can I druidcraft just like some breeze behind Ava to lend more gravitas?
Amazing.
Yeah, of course you can. He was already not the strongest willed individual. He's completely cowed by this whole situation. He doesn't know what to do. And the fact that you're all going, "We're going to sort this, just stop getting in our way," has very much led to an, okay. You almost, with a 34, there's almost a sense of relief.
I was
haven't
going to
got
say,
to deal with this.
that was kind of my plan anyway. Perfect.
With one caveat, I'm going to talk to the people outside. I need him stood next to me, otherwise it's going to look like a coup.
Good point.
Amazing. Point. The hand will go around behind the abbot's back and just prod him forward.
All right. I know this is a big extenuating circumstance, Elvis, but we all right with Prosperous being armed? Is that not a problem? Elvis from behind you will just lean around Prosperous and go, "Yeah, I think it's fine." All right.
At the moment.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to fight a demon lord without a sword? I'm good, but I'm not that good.
I know, but don't want the Lord's Alliance to be upset either. You're right, this is not the right time.
I think even the Lord's Alliance couldn't argue that I could go up against a demon lord without a sword.
Yep. You made your point.
Once this is over, you'll be definitely writing up one hell of a reference back to the Lord Alliance of Prosperous's deeds.
I mean, that's normally Strog's job, but I take your point. I'll put a nice note on it.
We'll get a few down.
Strug hold a pen?
Strog gives me daily reports. Strog does give, I mean, you wouldn't know this. Strog gives Dvorak daily reports of what's going on. They're often delivered late and they're very patchy, but,
Yeah.
That's another thing. Do you have any idea where Strog is? Because we could do with,
Support.
well, at least giving him, as Frioric has said, an idea of what's going on. But I'd also like to figure out where he stands in all of this.
Exactly.
I thought he'd come here.
He might have gone to the other gate. There were a group of people that way when I came up here.
There's only one gate in and out of Goldenfields.
Yeah. So if he's not here, he's probably there. So that may be our next.
Port of call.
Well, we need to go to the brewery to talk to the tree that makes barrels.
Oh, yeah.
Right, let's go and talk to these people, and then let's have a rest, and then let's go to the brewery.
Very well.
And
Do
then
you
let's...
need me to say anything or do anything?
No, just stand there and look, like you're okay with everything.
Less you say, the better.
Will you stay here, or do you want us to come out as well?
In fact, can you give me 10 minutes to put my armor on? I think that would be better.
Yes.
Elvis, you said you've got it.
Yeah, let me go and get it. He goes back out and
Heavy thing.
Goes and gets your armor and brings it back in. For reference, Prosperous's armor is
It's from an old Netherese city, so it's actually like an ancient artifact. It's from very, very old Shantae worship. It's mithril plate, so it's very lightweight in terms of plate armor. It's actually not heavy, so Elvis wouldn't be straining to carry it.
It is lighter than you would expect it to be. It's still plate mail.
Yeah. It's silver but has like wheat sheaths on it. And then the two arm braces are from a separate piece. They were designed for a dwarf, so they're slightly too short for Prosperous. And also have wheat sheaths on them, but different design, more modern.
As you are changing into your armor, which takes a bit of time, like I'm not going to do the full
At least 10 minutes.
Yeah. If the others are waiting, Elvis will step over to you, Prosperous, and you mentioned as part of that reforming the shepherds and taking charge. That is a coup.
No. I'm not taking charge with the shepherds. I want the shepherds to work with the abbot so that when the abbot needs something doing that is more, let's say, swordy, the shepherds can step in. And the shepherds can also go around and help Foray with all the stuff that Foray needs help with, and just...
Yeah, this was all okay when it was unofficial and something we would...
What did you think I was doing?
Passing the time.
Yeah. I don't do stuff that doesn't mean anything, Elvis. I don't just pass the time.
All right.
I want you to be part of them. I want you to lead them. I don't think I'm going to be here.
I don't even worship Jontea, Prosperous.
You don't need to.
Okay. I'm not saying yes to that at all. But,
We're better than the Lord's Alliance.
I mean, we're 5 people and one of them's Polliver.
Polliver destroyed a grain silo with the cannon.
That's not helping my feelings around this situation. Where is Polliver anyway? I thought he'd be with you.
I think he went down to the gate.
Right.
They need you. I can't be here. I can't train them. I don't think in the same way that you do.
Okay, you're thinking about the future when I'm a bit more worried about the present.
I'm gonna sort out the present. These people here,
Yeah.
they're excellent.
On that note, Prosperous, Orcus?
That's why I don't think I'm gonna be here, Elvis. The material plane needs shepherds. It needs people like you. It needs shepherds to sort stuff out here, but I'm not gonna be here.
This feels like a conversation for once this is all dealt with. And also, how the hell is a demon lord involved? Could you tell me a bit more about that? Because currently you've just said that he is, which is scary, but I don't really understand how.
Um,
You don't know either, do you?
someone said that he was.
Right, good. Looking over at the rest of the four of you who are probably just sort of off to one side. Which of them's the smart one?
Well, Foray's really smart.
Foray doesn't know anything about demon lords.
The really tall, scary one is very smart, and the short one with the hat is very smart. Not the one in black, though.
Who's the one who deduced it? But fine.
No, but the thing is, it's totally fair. If they're going to get a coherent answer, it's not going to be out of the Orica, probably.
All right. I don't want to let you down in this situation, and I also think the situation needs dealing with, but I don't think I realised what I was signing up for. I work for the Lord's Alliance, and I know you don't like them very much, but they've kept peace on the Sword Coast for a considerable amount of time.
They keep peace by locking up people who disagree with them.
Yes, by stopping mutually assured destruction. That is a really good reason why there's not been a spell plague in 100
They
years.
don't protect the people who need protection. They don't protect the little people. They don't help people who need help when they need help.
Yes, that's
They
down.
sit in their towers and they watch people burn.
That
Are
is
you
down
listening,
to
Boris? Sorry.
Very true.
And you can help them do that. And if that's your choice, that's your choice. But there's an opportunity here to do something different, something that means more. To look at people's faces as you help them and see the difference you're making. Can I roll a persuasion check, please?
Yeah. Whoa. I'd say an advantage, but sorry.
I get an advantage for just good role play.
I rolled a 15, which makes it a 28.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Okay.
And I don't want to say I'm fine either way, because I'm not. I want you to be a shepherd, but if you decide not to be, I will be all right with that. We will still be friends. I think we're friends.
We are friends.
And if you need help, I'll still come and help you.
The Earth's Bounty, the shop down by the gate. I've thought something was off about it for ages, but not quite known what. I reckon it's probably tied in with this too. If you're going to be... I mean, what do you want us to do? Stay here and guard these people? There must be hundreds and hundreds of people that are still out there somewhere. What's the actual plan here? You're going to go off and...
I trust you. If you want to go out and rescue people, then do that. If that's what you want to do. Because you're going to make the right decision.
Okay, then can I propose something?
Always.
Why don't we head to the gate, get these people out, and then we can start thinking about finding the others. If you can help me with that before you go... Also, going to the brewery to talk to a... Is this something that Shantea told you?
Someone mentioned the tree. The tree feels important. I don't know why.
I'm going to assume that that's fine. I think it would be tactically sound to save all these people before going off, because if it's about saving them, then I think that that's the top priority. And if the guard's not going to come.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
I can do that. Maybe now. Right now?
Oh no, you and your friends are exhausted. You need some time to rest, obviously. I'm not saying no. I didn't think this is how today would go.
I don't think anyone thought this was how today would go.
No, but on a grander scale than just there's undead attacking. Anyway, I'll start gathering people. I'm glad you're all right.
It's good to see you too.
Elvis will move over towards the four of you while Prosper finishes putting on his armor, and will just step up We'll give Viorica a slightly odd look and then direct this specifically not at Viorica. Like, not in a kind of not you, just like direct it more like at Foray, Ava, and Ephemera.
That's fine.
Sorry, Ed.
No. It was. I totally understood. Totally.
I will kind of grab Viorica's sleeve and just kind of pull him into frame slightly.
You do not deserve Ephemera.
Just... I was asking Prosperous about Orcus and this involvement of a demon lord, and he couldn't give me any answers on that, and said that you lot might know a bit more about it, just so I'm in the picture.
I mean, the being behind all of this is Orcus.
How do you know that?
I did some very clever thinking at the end of last episode.
There's evidence.
Chris, Ava knows because it was 20 minutes ago. For me, it was a week ago.
Exactly.
There's evidence. There is evidence. You found Orcus symbology on the acolytes in the thing. Who turned out to be
that. We did a really good investigation and we did all of that. And we went, demon symbology, Orcus.
You say that.
Say it like that. Make it deadpan and spooky and then... Yeah.
Gotcha.
Make it spoopy.
Elvis will just... Right. Does that mean a cult of? Because there seemed to be some... The genuine article, which, as far as I understand it, is very difficult for a demon lord to do.
Don't necessarily know if the cult are aware that it's Orcus playing the strings or not.
I see.
Fully. Anyway, maybe some are aware. But.
Understood.
I saw... It's making more sense now. Down by the labyrinth, one of the statues of Shantea was off by a sort of just feed shop. Might be
Earth Mother's Bounty.
Yeah. It just felt wrong. Might be a good place to start.
Yes. I've asked Prosperous if we can bring all these people to safety before you investigate fully, if you're all okay with that. Sorry, I realise some of you are visiting for the first time, so
this is
helped
why
so far.
This is why I came here. I wanted to find out what was rotten here.
How long will it take to rescue lots of people?
And I don't know.
Because we should maybe prioritise hunting down the demon lord, but
I couldn't tell you. It's just to get them out. If there's a demon lord in Goldenfields and there's a gate, we should get them out. Yes, sorry.
Sorry, there was a stampede of cows at one point. So that might be something that pops up as we're trying to get people out.
Okay. That's really funny.
I'm going to go and round up the remaining guard that are here and the shepherds. There's a look of like, that's a thing now across Elvis's face.
This is my thing, yeah.
Oh God. And we'll start making plans. Thank you. Much appreciated. And Elvis will give Foray sort of like nod of like the policeman nod. And then head out of the doors and start organising.
Pretty much this entire time, Foray does have like a tiny little classic notebook that he's like almost referencing at times and licking the lead now and then and just keep
5 minutes ago you said that. Yeah. Very good. Lovely. Yeah, that's great.
You don't need to come with if you don't want to help rescue everyone. It just seems the right thing to do. Elvis is often right.
I be honest, just in a good way, it's good, but also in a distraction way, it's good. The less people, the less things that we may have to stop to try protect or keep an eye on.
A shop down by the gate that he thinks has been off for a while. I can't remember the name of it.
Earth Mother's Bounty.
Earth Mother's Bounty. Maybe we can take a look at it while we're down there.
Let's do that.
What's it? What was the feeling about it? Did you get any information?
He just said that it had been bothering him for a while and just hadn't kind of put it together or felt a need to say anything about it.
Right, you are.
Yes. Ephemera, I don't know how you feel, but it does feel a waste of time. But strategically, the fewer civilians there are to make undead corpses out of might actually work in our favour.
But what do we do if more undead come about while we're heralding all of these people towards the gates?
Destroy them with fire.
Same thing as last time.
People or the undead? I struggle with nuance.
The undead. The undead. The people are fine. The people remain how they are.
Yes. Don't touch the people.
Preferably.
What if the undead are really quite nice and the people we're shepherding happen to be quite morally bankrupt?
Let's not make hasty decisions about the moral ethics of the people we're shepherding while they're stressed and running for their lives from their home, which is currently overrun by undead.
You have a lot of patience for a champion of a god. Sorry, Ephemera.
You know, the undead, they tend to go by instinct like feral animals, so it's probably best not to vilify them in such a manner. Frore, are you going along with everyone as well?
Aye, but I will. I mean, really, my top priority's always got to be the civilians, but...
Excellent. Along the way, can you tell me your life story?
That's going to require a hell of a roll. It's like history download.
Right, well, I mean, you'll find my history, if you go far enough, is fairly intertwined with Prosperous, so you may as well chat to both of us for a lot of it.
Excellent. I'm just trying to make this time pay for me as well as for everyone else here.
Right.
Right.
Right, let's get to work.
Prosperous is now fully armoured, and you get the sense of this... How tall is Prosperous? Huge.
7.5.
7.5 foot tall,
Yeah.
fully plate armoured
Amazing.
champion. Like, it is ridiculous how, like, inspiring but also scary Prosperous looks in fully fledged form. It is a thing.
It's the epic music here.
We feel better about our chances.
Yeah, the armor helps a lot.
So you say get to work but sleep.
Yes,
Oh.
I'm just going to go and kind of tell everyone what's happening in a non-threatening way.
Oh, I was going to offer to help, but then I suppose, yeah,
No.
okay.
You could all stand there and look, like yourselves. You're quite, inspiring.
I thought you said non-threatening.
I think threatening's quite good at the moment. People need to feel like
Okay.
people are going to look after them.
Fine.
Just don't threaten them,
Yeah.
Right.
Like you're going to threaten the things that are going to threaten them, but you're not going to threaten them,
How can I guarantee that when I haven't met them yet?
I'll go collect the abbot, because it'll be good to have him with you as well.
I mean, it's a great point. I don't want to make that choice for you. If you, yeah.
I will head out without the intention of threatening anyone who doesn't instantly appear to deserve it.
Yeah.
Once the sort of tableau is set up, the Willow from Buffy is the thing that I can remember. When she goes full like spellcaster thing with the veins and stuff like that. That's what the Orica looks like once the sort of the intimidation is necessary. If you see what I mean, just like.
Oh, yeah. That's great. Mm-hmm.
Represent a strong, united front of intimidation.
Do you think we're going to have a longer rest after this? Because if so, I can make myself quite intimidating.
We're not trying to intimidate.
Oh, I can as well.
We're trying to sleep. We're trying to inspire. We're trying to inspire hope and a feeling of, when we take these people down the road, we're going to protect them, not to scare them.
But if we
Join the
look
bloody
scary, we will scare Orcus.
I'm not going to tell them about Orcus.
Oh, that's
You're going to lie to them.
No,
I'm
Interesting.
not gonna lie to them. I'm just gonna not tell them that part.
The sin of admission.
Yes, the sin of omission. I'm going to admit that part from my narrative. That is
Sorry, I
correct.
thought you were talking about cinnamon.
Anyway, cut across all of you.
I'm just going to turn to Fro and be like, please tell me that you're at least going to look like halfway inspiring.
Furry never looks any different. Furry is a statue.
Yeah, he's just like Mike can't do it, but he is like 99% of the time one eyebrow higher than the other. Just
About everything.
All right. Well, we all look fantastic. And we're going to go out there and people are going to feel really confident that we...
Can take
Well-
on the demon lord that we're not going to mention.
Correct, yes. No demon lords.
You're doing the talking, right?
Preferably.
Okay, then. What? And I just kind of caress your cheek as much as I can from my tiny stature. And you feel yourself having some guidance.
What does your guidance look like? Is it still mushrooms?
It's still mushrooms, of course. It's more mold. Like there's a little bit of mold just comes onto the cheek and then just kind of blends in. But there's a little bit of fuzz on your cheek now.
No, because it's that thing of blending underneath the cheekbones. It's sort of a general,
Yeah.
but just with mold, obviously.
There's a kind of
I could have picked
fungus.
anywhere and I picked the face, so
There's a kind of fungus that makes people more foolhardy. So breathing it in.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yes.
I'll holster my sword on my back where it normally goes.
As the six of you with the abbot step outside onto the dais, you can see that Elvis has also been priming people to expect you to arrive and tell people what's going to go on, because as you appear, people are already sort of standing and waiting. As all six of you step out, the tree will sort of ruffle its feathers a little bit, turn to the abbot and go,
Would you like to get their attention?
the abbot goes, and looks at
Yes, please.
yes, please. And the tree starts humming. It's a very low, sonorous hum, sort of, which reverberates through the space, and anyone who was doing anything looks up to the dais, which they're used to doing. This is how there is no church, there is no tower. Sorry, it is a church. There is no tower, there is no bell. So this is how everyone is called to listen. Yes, Ed?
Is this like? It's difficult to describe. Is it like harmonically accurate? Is it coming from a specific note and going up to a specific note? You see? Because I'm just thinking, is it actually musical? Because Viorica may have a crisis.
I think it is probably because assuming trees have vocal cords, which they don't. But
Right.
if wood has a harmonic vibration, wood has the ability to harmonically vibrate, and it would probably be creating that hum effect through a harmonic vibration. So it would therefore be, it wouldn't be a tri, it'd be a pentad, wouldn't it?
I'm sorry.
Rebecca, you
Viorica's
know,
knowledge is not
more than
is not
mine.
alive in it. I don't know anything about music.
I'm not sure. I think it's a pentad. I don't know. But yeah, there would be a harmonic resonance that would echo against and with the stone, so it would create that lovely. It is a piece of music, definitely.
Yes, that's what I mean. Viorica is in raptures here. This is really, really cool.
Do the veins change?
Yeah, oh, very much. So yes. So then it's.
I'm an edgelord. I look. Ah!
No. It's now they transform into music notation, and so
Oh,
that's
lovely.
that's the and it's moving in time with the humming, and it's flowing over.
Ah, ha ha.
Talk about that, because that's amazing.
That's that definitely works.
Ed,
Yes.
roll me a D100.
Okay. Right. Yes.
You're walking into these folks. Walking into them.
Ooh, 95.
Please don't blow up.
Music.
Don't panic.
Your head does a scanners and just.
Yeah.
This space does have windows, obviously. They're quite high up and they're circular. Therefore, what they do is they catch beams of light and push them down into the space. As you do this, as you note this, a beam of sunlight will start cutting through various windows into the side of the church, and one will play gently across your face and is warm and inviting and welcome, and you recognize it do you want to accept it, or are you a bit like, no, get away from me?
Oh, that's really difficult.
It's a 95, so it is the most perfect question that could be asked. I apologize, Stream. This is backstory stuff that we will talk more about in a bit, but
Yeah. This is a really difficult one. I think he doesn't. Oh, 195. That's really high.
I am not going to tell you what to do.
I understood. No, he isn't, but something has changed, which is good.
You feel almost like this gentle play across your skin is a question, which you push away.
Yes.
The light, it's just sunlight. All of you see light shining in the window. But it stops having that sense of being a question to you, Viorica. It is just light. No.
Fine.
Yeah, because light's shining in at that angle, you'd also all be aware that we are getting to very late afternoon, early evening. Just flagging that now. But yes, everyone is listening to you. There are some sort of golden motes of dust in the air caught by the light as well. It's a very beautiful look to the moment.
Chris.
Yeah.
Before I say what I'm about to say, is it fair to assume they would all know who I am?
They would all know who you are because you are famous, but you're also infamous, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Good.
Hello. You all know me. Obviously, what's happened today is awful. We have a plan. We need to get you out of this abbey and out of Goldenfields so that you can be protected somewhere safe. Right now, the 5 of us have taken a significant amount of damage and used a significant amount of energy fending off the creatures that are attacking the city. We need you to remain calm overnight while we rest. Elvis, the guards who are here, and the remaining shepherds are going to look after you, and we are here if anything happens. But for the moment, know that by tomorrow, you'll be safe, you'll be back with your families, and that we are working to bring Goldenfields back to Shantea and back into somewhere where you can come, farm, worship, and be safe.
People aren't going to do or say, they just listen throughout this. When you get to the end of it, roll a persuasion check. See how well it lands.
Ooh, and you have guidance.
D4.
I rolled an 8 and a 1.
9.
I have plus 13, so that makes it a 22.
That's hilarious.
Level 12 characters. People, they hear you. They believe you. They're still scared. But you do get a sense around the room that people are realizing that you are no longer under house arrest. You are no longer someone who they need to be sort of, you are now, you the hero, stand in front of them and say, I'm going to fix this, and they've all gone, good. Like, that's the reaction. Like, we're glad that you're here and that you're going to fix this, but they're not getting like jubilant cheers or anything. It's just people sort of
expecting it.
Yeah, nodding with a kind of, yep, that's the way it's going to be. Next to you, the abbot goes, that's what we're going to do. Yep.
Nice one.
Thanks, Abbott.
The abbot will turn to you and go, quietly so no one else can hear you. So everyone on the dais can, but everyone else is starting to turn and go back to their own thing, like the moment's clearly passed. Look, I know I've not been the most helpful, and I'm sorry about that, but there is something I can do. Well, we've got... Hang on. Come, gestures you all to come back, and we'll take you back into the sanctum inside, and we'll go to a corner cupboard and get out 5 potions.
Oh, nice.
These are for when farm workers... It's to let them work longer and harder if they need to.
Cocaine? No. Sorry.
Yes, cocaine.
Cocaine potion.
Makes you an asshole. No, not cocaine. Sorry. Need to get that up. Damn it! They'll let you get a night's rest for only an hour. So you rest for an hour and then you've had an all night's rest for that time. So we can travel earlier if that would be wiser.
Sounds like a good idea.
If
The
nothing
only
else.
issue is that would be teetering on the edge of night.
Well, either we protect people here for a night or we travel in the night, so...
I think let us get this done as quickly as possible.
The abbot's expression is, I don't know why that's relevant. There's no concept for why that's a problem.
Just an issue.
Yes, we'll take them, thank you.
Right. I'll look through everything else and see if I've got anything that might be useful. I don't know. This is look. I've just made sure everyone's happy. It's all I'm supposed to do is keep people happy, and I'm no good in a crisis. I mean, what am I supposed to do? By the way, you said earlier I should stay here. Should I come with you when
Yes,
you take everyone out,
yes,
or should
you
I
should.
just stay here?
Yes, you should come with us.
All right, that's probably sensible.
Aye, you've got repenting to do, but not dying to do.
Abbot, sir?
Yeah.
I just want to say, from one druid to another, you are a complete embarrassment to druids everywhere, and you need to rethink your fucking career.
I'm not a druid. I'm an abbot of Chontair, and that's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
A big difference.
Thank you for the potions. Maybe you should be a potion seller. Might be more up your street.
Come on.
Can't handle my potions.
It had to be said. It had to be said. Well done, Evie, for setting that one up.
All right, we're going to go to a different room where we're going to have a 1 hour nap.
It's a short rest, so you don't need to sleep during it. It's just a 1 hour of downtime.
I want to move people away from the abbot.
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah, but-
abbot dies.
The abbot's going to go back to the desk of looking at you with like a just.
Abbot, if there's anything here that's of particular relevance to Chontair, irreplaceable, mostly irreplaceable, bag it up. We'll take it with us.
But the entire abbey's irreplaceable.
Yes, I know the abbey's irreplaceable, but anything that can be burnt, stone's harder to burn, we'll take it with us.
All right. Thank you for all your assistance. I'm sorry I let this happen.
It's all right, you're fixing it.
That's what's important.
Okay. Right. All right. We'll do it together.
Okay, and I'm just going to, gently shepherd everyone out of the room before anything else awkward happens.
There's daggers going from the eyes.
You can all rest for an hour. You can tell Elvis the message that it'll only take an hour, not 8 hours. You're fine. So you can tell everyone to start packing up and getting ready while the 5 of you have a sit down, while everyone around you is making sure that they're ready to go. Which means that we can then pick up during that rest if you have things you want to discuss with each other before moving on to taking these people out. But we'll come to all of that after the break. That all worked out very well for timing. Well done, everyone. Good. Yes, we will pick up there after the break. And yes. God, the abbot's a wimp. Fun to play, but a wimp.
I must say, very, very good DMing, Chris. I suddenly
Oh.
was having sympathy for this character who I thought this is going to be an awful thing forever. But no.
Sympathy for the devil, I have
There's
succeeded.
the magic.
Anyway.
Exactly.
No sympathy over here. It's like,
No, that was the book I loved. I was sort of like, oh, well done, Chris. Now I'm like, oh, that's gotta hurt. Ooh, in the face. Wow.
Anyway, see you all in 510, everyone.
Bye.
And welcome back, everyone. So, the party are able to take a long rest in a short rest time, thanks to a potion from the abbot. The one good thing the abbot did. The one.
Yes.
And around you, people are preparing to leave. During the hour, you will note that the sun is slowly setting. You will be leaving at the cusp of night. Now, most of you would be aware that undead tend to be better at night because they don't like sunlight. You could discuss this if you wanted to and talk about strategy. There are some of you wanted to talk to each other about other things. You've got an hour of in-game time. Talk to each other if you want to. If there's anything you want to discuss in particular as a group or individually. Around you is a gentle hum of activities. People start to get ready. You could also call across NPCs if you wanted to. Anyone?
Florin's like heavy, sort of sat leaning, and he's just sort of, you can just see his eyes behind his mouth. And he's sort of taking notes. But he's now and then glancing up at everybody, so he's not unreachable.
Yeah, people could just come and sit next to you, not to taunt necessarily, but just to like sit in like companionable silence, but like almost like because they're childhood friends in a way that feels really comfortable, just to sit in like together.
That's lovely.
It's an extra safety blanket. It's nice.
That feels like the sign of a real friendship when you can sit in silence with somebody else. I think
That's true.
Cool.
Yes.
I've never managed it yet, but I hear it's fun.
Ava will find a quiet corner and have a chat inside her head for a bit.
Aha. Aha. Please, what do you say inside your head?
So, orcas seem to make you happy.
Not specifically. Generally. If Goldenfields is ripe for outside influence, I have no particular bones with that.
So this is anti-Shantae rather than pro-orcas.
Not even anti-Shantae specifically. I couldn't really care less about a farming goddess, but it might serve our purposes. Not a bad thing.
Is this where you give me a little more insight into what our purposes are?
No.
Well, right now I don't even know what side you want me to fight on.
Oh, I see. Well, Orcus is generally speaking bad. Demons are bad.
Yes, but I get the feeling so are you by the same people that call Orcus bad.
Yeah, I can't be that bad. I saved your life. Didn't
You
I?
make a point.
Listen. Keep going along with this, and an opportunity might present itself later. I'm going to bet my bottom dollar that the big bad Orcus isn't actually here. I'll tell you why. Orcus, well, demon lords, fiends in general, myself included, struggle to leave our planes of existence. It's difficult. We have to be invited, you see. And to invite someone of that power needs either someone very powerful or extremely foolhardy.
I mean, we've met the latter.
Yes, but even foolhardy to that extent of this ridiculous abbot figure who, I mean, whatever, is never going to have the gumption or the wherewithal to reach out to a demon lord and say, knock, knock, knock.
So you think it's a masquerade?
I reckon there's something further afoot, and I will bet that Orcus himself not being here means that there might be something here that is his. Orcus has a wand, you see. It's very powerful, very, very powerful artifact. And he likes to throw it at random mortals and see what happens, and I'll bet you it's here. Wouldn't be the first time, you see.
What would you like me to do when I find it?
We'll get to that, but I think that's going to be our ticket. That's going to be the way we're going to do this. That's my feeling anyway, but I could be wrong. And also, frankly, this place being the home of a holy goddess I couldn't care less about, or the home of Orcus, a demon lord, both are bad. But Orcus is worse. You'd be doing my job for me, you see. And not in a good way.
Point taken. So if you're after an incredibly wicked artifact of an incredibly powerful demon, I might need another one of your rather generous gifts to help me take this on.
What did you have in mind?
You've given me one or two rather surprisingly fun abilities, items. I thought this might be a chance for another.
You never stop bargaining, do you? That's why we get on. I'll see what I can do. Let me get back to you.
I'll be here.
Keep doing what you're doing, and be careful. Some of these people are very perceptive.
Careful, you almost sound like you care.
Be a shame to waste all that power, wouldn't it?
I agree.
Well, that happens.
Yeah.
That was, wow. That was awesome.
Thanks. Ed, you are the most encouraging person to play with ever. It's great.
Right.
Anyone else discussing anything?
I would like to be fiddling about with a cauldron that I've just magically pulled out of a bag. It just fits.
Having
Well, hang on. When you pull it out, it's tiny, and then whoop, suddenly it's huge. Like it's very, very big.
And the bag doesn't seem to want to let it go either. It's getting a bit toothy in there. It's...
Hang on. Are you saying you've put one item in another item? Just checking that that's what you've done.
Maybe.
I have to roll some dice, maybe.
But I've done the odds. Most of my things are in the former item.
Sorry, all will become clear in a second. I apologize.
This is how you kill a dragon, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so...
Would you like me to tell you how many things are in the item?
No, that's not necessary.
Okay.
As you pull the cauldron out, can you roll me a D100, please?
Yes, I can.
Worked brilliantly for me.
56.
Yeah, you're right. The bag sort of doesn't want to let the cauldron go, but you do pull it out and just... The bag sort of gives a little...
I give the bag a little shh and just a little... It's okay, Petunia. I'll feed you soon. And I take out the cauldron, big full size. Philippe is balanced on the edge, just watching me pensively as I fiddle with a few things. I'm just going to call over to... Viorica?
Yes?
I like your neck tattoos.
Well, yes, they were a souvenir, I suppose.
Can you tell me more about them while I prep this?
Yes, if you wish.
It's too quiet in here. I'd just like to hear your story.
Oh well, thank you. That's lovely. I didn't. It was a journey that I took that was supposed to be... At the beginning, it all sounded so... Wholesome's the wrong word, but sort of educational. And then it turned into something which I wasn't really prepared for. I've always looked for beauty in things, and I went into a different realm and found beauty in horror and in chaos, which rather changed my point of view about quite a lot of things. I'd always thought of myself as a fundamentally good person. I don't know whether it made me think perhaps there's more than this. Because if beauty can be found everywhere and in everything, then what is it that is bad? Is it just ugliness? Because some ugliness can be beautiful. However, what this led to is me thinking perhaps slightly too much, which is why I got lost there. I was up among the the Darkmar, the Towers of Silence. There is exhumation, burial, but it's allowed to be open to the air, and you see the life go in a full circle. And it changed me. It definitely changed me. I don't know whether for the best or not. But just now, when my tattoos were in full bloom, I got a sign. A sign from the god that has saved me several times. And now I don't know what to think.
I take out an empty vial and I'm just kind of spooning something into it and say, the thing about mushrooms is they can be beautiful.
Yes.
They can be ugly.
Yes.
They can be deadly and they can save lives. What you saw, it made you think, and that's good. But sometimes you also need to trust your instincts. Just because something's beautiful, it can be alluring and tempting. It's not always the right answer. Sometimes the most beautiful things in life are the ugly. And I just kind of present to you a potion of greater healing and just say, should you need it?
I have never not.
What does your potion of greater healing look like that you make from your cauldron?
It's red and bubbling with little bits in it, so it doesn't look the most appetizing.
Delicious.
It's a soup you have to eat.
Yeah.
That was beautiful, but also Ed, Viorica is turning into Dorian Gray.
Yeah, that kind of works.
That is what you have done.
Wow.
Anyway, following that, I'd like to cast Scrying.
How do you cast scrying using your cauldron?
So it's very much a hubble, bubble, toil and trouble kind of situation. And I also put the bits of human that I picked up from the field, from the druids.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, okay. What am I drinking? It doesn't matter.
Oh, don't drink it now. That's for later.
Fine.
Cool. As you do this, do you see through does it sort of go like a sort of sheet of glass and you can see through it, or is it more of a visions in the smoke? How does the scrying manifest itself from the cauldron?
I'm thinking that, I quite like the idea of visions in the smoke. It just starts to boil up and the kind of white smoke kind of takes the form of the figures of what I'm supposed to be seeing.
Are you okay? Because scrying tends to be just you. Are you okay with me sharing it with everyone as it being something that everyone can see in the smoke? I think that might be quite nice.
Viorica will be fascinated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you. That's fantastic.
It's a shared hallucination.
Awesome.
Well, it is mushrooms.
In that
cool.
case, could I actually have, if everyone's seeing it, could I actually have the smoke becoming bigger than the cauldron itself, so it's like we're in the room?
Yes, absolutely. That's
like
great.
that.
I mean, it's only. I've been checking the rules on scrying to make sure of this. It is only you see you get a sense that you can see 10 feet of the target and around it, so it's not wide. It's not that big. Because the cauldron itself is already nearly 5 foot across. It's big. So I need to roll a saving throw. Now, you can see in here, particularly if you choose on the same place as your type, must make a wisdom saving throw to modify how well you know the target, the sort of physical connection you have to it. You don't know the target at all, but you have met them.
I do know their name now.
You know their name? Oh, yes.
Said their names.
Their names were given, and you don't know specifically which one it is, but you know their name. You've met the target because you were in the glade as well, so you've met this druid before, this acolyte of Chantea before, and you have a body part, which means they have a -10 to the saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. Here it comes. I don't think I'm going to pass this, I'll say it now, but you never know. I'm going to see what happens. So... Right. Just checking what things I have to add and subtract. We have... I'll use a real dice. That's a -2.
Wow. Even worse than I've ever got.
In the smoke, appearing in this vision around all of you that all of you can see and engage with. You see woods, trees. Those of you that are local, this already narrows it down. Not many parts of Goldenfields have, like, trees to that extent. A lot of it is field. At the side of a pool of water, there are 7 figures recovering. Some of them are healing their wounds, some of them are healing each other, but most of them are doing exactly what you're doing and taking a rest. Most of them have taken masks off, because they don't need to be secretive, and it's common folk. None of them look particularly like inspiring or powerful or anything like that. They just look like regular people trying to make do at this point. Stepping into the midst of them, another figure walks forward. This one is still wearing the mask. And Ephemera, Ava, you would both recognize the mask as the same mask that you saw on the face of, as the face of the person in the maze. They step forward amongst all of them.
It doesn't matter. None of this matters. We're so close without... It's not going to be a problem. We'll find the well. We'll place this within it.
On her belt, she reaches down and touches, and there is a wand on her belt. It is macabre. It is the spine and skull of someone. It's smaller than a humanoid one. And it glows with a horrific sort of sickly green energy. You're all seeing this. I would allow a history check or a religion check.
Oh.
We've been talking about it enough. It's relatively self-explanatory, but you know.
Do I get advantage given I've literally just been told what it is?
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks.
14.
Okay.
19.
Okay.
Nat 20 for 24.
There we go.
okay. That's my specialist subject. I got 15 with a plus 12.
Or 16.
In which case, I will say that for most of you, that's is that what I think it is? But for Ephemera and Ava, that's the Wand of Orcus. Yeah.
So, I understand there might be some people directly responsible for us not quite getting our way. Let's give them something to worry about.
At which point the spell fades.
Oh, good.
What a dramatic coincidence.
Technically, it lasts for longer, but meh.
Yeah. Wow.
You all saw that.
What was that thing on her belt?
What thing on her belt?
Wasn't there?
Wand?
Was it a wand?
That's as far as I could see. I think I might know what it is, but I'm not.
Yeah, no. What do you think it is?
Did you say I roughly recognize it with my
I have an
16?
inkling. You can put 2 and 2 together because all of you rolled above a 10. Ephemera, you know, and Ava, you know, but have reasons for not sharing that potentially.
Wait,
Yeah.
do I know?
Yeah, with a 19, you do know. It's the Wand of Orcus.
Oh, right. Cool.
Well, I've not read much on him. I didn't really think I'd ever come across Orcus, but I'm
Yes. Oh, that's.
50% sure that's the Wand of Orcus. I don't know what it
agree.
does.
I think that's.
I'm 99.7% sure that's the Wand of Orcus.
Goodness.
Right. Does anybody know what it does? I mean, putting it down a well does not.
Also, why hasn't Orcus got it?
It's a very good question.
What's the well, Chris?
You have no idea.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
I'm assuming there's a couple in.
Oh, there are wells in Goldenfields.
Yeah.
There's tons. There's like, because of the amount of water required to irrigate this many fields. There's quite a complex system of wells that are used to even pump water out of them with some very basic pump technology.
Why would they put it in a well? They're here to see Trontean things.
That's a good point.
I don't know a Trontean thing called the well.
But hang on.
What? What
We
do you
think-
think they meant?
We think it's
Sorry,
definitely
yeah.
here.
Well,
Is it?
they're probably here. I mean, they seem like they were here. They didn't seem like they were gone somewhere else.
Could they mean the source? Is there a river source? Where's that?
There is a lake in the center of Goldenfields inside a wooded copse, which from that image you'd probably recognize that's kind of what they were near or something similar, which has a small stream that runs out of it that particularly irrigates the rice paddies that are in the northeastern side of it. But the well doesn't, it's a well spring. That's
Right. It's
cool.
not that wouldn't. Yeah. Okay.
And they were standing next to it. We've got to find the well.
Chris, I think
Is
Evie
any
has
of this within 300 meters of the corn maze?
No.
No. Okay. Very
Oh,
convenient.
Whatever it is. So
How
close.
has the rice crop in the northeastern corner been?
It will have been. Yeah.
No, as in how has the harvest been in that specific
Oh.
part of the farm irrigated by that bit of water?
Are you asking in or out of character? I'm sorry.
I was asking out, but yep, that's a really good point. Ava would not expect the DM in her head to know.
No, I do know, but out of character, you don't know.
That thing, Eva wouldn't expect there to be a voice in her head that could just tell her the answer.
Yep.
Locals, you silly hat, Prosperous. You said the harvest has failed.
his name is Foray.
Great.
No, I'm serious. His name is Foray. Treat him with respect, please.
He's wearing a silly hat. Surely he's doing that so people observe it. You said the
Regardless,
harvest had failed.
I will not answer your question unless you say his name.
You said the harvest had failed.
I will not
Has
answer
it
your question unless you
You
say
get a
his name.
telekinetic message of, it's Foray. Remember that. Foray.
You then. You said the harvest had failed.
His
Has
name,
it
please.
failed in a specific area of the farm?
Don't answer it.
Ava.
Right. One,
Foray.
if you give me a second. Right. Prosperous, from before, I totally understand why you'd like her to respect me, but I'm not asked. We probably won't see each other after this, so how she feels about me doesn't actually matter. How you feel about it, I do very much so respect, but I'll walk out that door and get over it so we can both do that. Speaking of, I'm going to pop out and just speak to a couple of rice farmers and get that answer for you. And he's just going to get up, walk out, grab Jimmy, who I know works down at the east side, and just be like, "How was the crop?"
It's been, well, less than usual, but it's not like we've had like 2 years of harvest that were so bad that this was a thing. Like, it's been like below average.
Okay, below average.
10, 20% below average, you know.
Yeah, I'll give a stupid hat tip, and then I will head back in. He'll smile at Prosperous as well, because he totally understands why P's irritated, because P doesn't like people talking to anybody, let alone Ferrari like that. But it's sort of like a reassuring, like, he's not upset about it. So P, as long as P wishes, doesn't have to be either. And then he's going to just look straight at Ava and go, last 2 years, it's not been the best, but it's not been the worst.
It's not been specifically worse anywhere else, anywhere in particular in Goldenfield.
Not that I'm aware of, but to be honest, Jimmy only works down there, so he can only give me so much.
But if you, like you said, that patch of water irrigates that patch of farm and they're about to unleash something, do we maybe want to go turn on a dam?
But I'm not entirely sure if referring to the well is a more general term for the entire waterworks.
It sounded like the well with capital letters.
Aye.
There is no such well in Goldenfields.
There's hundreds.
But at the same time, they must be referring to something. And whether or not it's an actual well, they have a target.
Perhaps we start with the stream and go from there.
I feel like having someone who can scry is a fantastic boon, but surely we could rely on that and carry on saving these people for a start.
Let me see what I can do. Can I go to my favourite part of the abbey, which is the plainest shrine?
Plain as in the plainest version
Emptiest.
of the emptiest, and no people.
Just nothing. Whichever one has the littlest things in it.
All of them are relatively representative. I guess there's a water feature shrine that is it's delicate and it's small, and there is a small statue of Chontair in the center of it, but it is not ostentatious in a way that a lot of the other ones are.
Okay, that one. I guess I'll just sit down on the floor, lay out some seeds, and just sit and think about Chontair and try and make a connection in my mind.
You casting ceremony?
I had one first level spell slot left before I did the long rest.
Fine.
Could do.
Yeah. I'll count it. Ceremony lasts an hour. Cool. I'm going to conflate it a little because we've taken an hour of short rest time, long rest time, so that's fine. You sit, place the seeds,
Begin to eat them.
begin to eat them, as always. And you try to reach out to Chontair. Hello, Prosperous.
Hello. Long day.
Yes, it's not been easy. There are some days where the Divine Gate really is a fence I have to press my face against.
I think if you were down here swinging, barrels of hay around, it would really take away from people's ability to choose what they were doing for themselves, I'm not assuming that you would swing barrels of hay around, I just like the image.
You don't keep hay in... You mean bales of hay? Just checking.
Yes.
Good. I could swing a bale of hay. Why not? Let's say that I do.
I don't want to keep you. I'm sure you've got plenty of people asking for...
This entire situation has my undivided attention.
I'm sure. The well. We have so many wells.
Yes. Maybe you could speak to Dvorak or
Who's Dvorak?
the abbot.
Oh, I just call him the abbot, or...
Oh, sorry.
Al.
Maybe you could speak to the abbot. I know you're not his biggest fan, but he does have some sense of this space that I would struggle to share it with you myself, of course.
I understand. The Divine Gate.
Yes, the Divine Gate, that's it.
You don't sound convincing. You're usually quite convincing.
I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
Can I roll an insight check on Chontair?
Sure.
I'm actually talking to Chontair.
Ooh.
It's a 22.
Rolled for it. Rolled against your passive, but rolling actively. You're not sure if this is Chontair.
How's sorry, Chris, I've forgotten the name of my partner from Icewind Dale.
Kenna.
How's Kenna doing up in the fields? Is she having a nice time with Edie?
They're doing as you might expect.
Uh-huh. So this is Orcus then?
I'm sorry.
Well, you're not Shantae.
Can't blame an old horse for trying new tricks, can you?
You're not very good at them.
Deception was never my strong point, but I thought I'd give it a go. Shantae doesn't live here anymore.
Neither do you.
This land is mine.
Not for long.
I'd like to see you try.
Just watch. I'll end the connection.
Okay.
Why does he think the abbot knows what the well is? Why would he point us towards that? I don't like it.
Wheels within wheels.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't like
If you come back into the room, you'll see Ferrari's sat next to Fiorica trying to explain sort of quietly why his hat's cool.
Oh, no.
Why his hat's cool.
Fiorica is totally with him. That's the thing.
Exactly. That's
There's
why
gonna
he's
be-
gone to you. It's like he needs he's pretended he doesn't need reassurance, but he's just like passively like, yeah, just tell me it's cool.
No, it's good. It works. It's absolutely the aesthetic works brilliantly. I don't know why people think it's such.
He is
Ephemera is
doing
kind
a...
of offering Philippe to Ava to try and cheer her up.
Oh.
He is doing an about 12 performance of being not completely unnerved and absolutely fine. So it looks kind of like this.
Yeah. Prosperous, are you okay?
You've got that face on.
What? Yes.
Okay, I went to go talk to Shantae and Orcus answered.
What?
Orcus
You just spoke with a
answered.
demon lord. Oh,
I
Lord.
don't think it was a good thing.
No.
He's not supposed to, and he wasn't nice. And I'm not sure that I'm the best person to be speaking to him. Like, I feel like Ava, could talk to a demon lord and be like, cool. And I was like, not cool.
Did you threaten the demon lord by any chance?
Yeah, I just threatened the demon lord.
That's not. Oh, that's dangerous. That's really, really dangerous.
What are
Okay.
you supposed to do? What
No,
would you
no,
have
I don't-
done? Been like, yeah, it's fine. Have Goldenfields. Off you pop. Like,
No,
we'll
I
all
have-
just leave.
I have seen such demons. They are terrifying. I don't understand why you weren't further attacked. This is Orcus. Why did he just communicate with you? Why did he not try and fry your brain from the inside?
Can he do that?
He's a demon lord. I presume he can.
I mean, he did circumvent a ceremony. Well, unless does that mean that the ceremony he had directly... Does that mean this land is, in all technicality, his now, if he can take a ceremony away from Shantae?
Did he can you unhallow somewhere so that then no one can worship a specific god there? I don't know how unhallowing works.
No,
I
because
don't know if the unhallowing actually technically means unhallowed in Orcus's name.
so
Like,
nothing-
you could unhallow from it to make it just plain,
yes.
or you could unhallow it into someone's name.
So practically nothing changes, but the control is different. Because I would have thought that if the undead took over a farm, it would no longer be a very good farm.
Well,
The same logic tracks, yeah.
Depends what you were farming, I suppose.
yeah.
need to sort this out. How did you go to ask about the well? Was there any information?
He said to talk to the abbot, but
Well, that's not going to help anything.
He was pretending to be Shantae said to talk to the abbot, but why would he do that? Why would he give away information if... I don't understand.
Okay, so the abbot is a absolute moron.
Yes.
So what if Orcus has been manipulating and using the abbot without his knowledge?
Ah.
Or if not, just seeding down that we can't trust him. I mean, I don't know very much about Arcus, but playing mind games, I imagine, is a fairly high point in the old demon book.
There's a demon book?
Any?
Sorry, word of phrase.
If there is, we don't want it. We want a demonry right now.
An Omicron of Igglewith and you don't want it.
Exactly.
How do we want to go forward? Do we want to talk to the abbot? Do we not talk to the abbot? Do we...
He's coming with us, didn't he say?
We're traveling with him. Yeah, you're correct.
We just need to... I think we do not change anything.
Well, on that note, there was one thing that the that lady said with the ram's mask on.
Yes.
The ram's mask, I can't remember. She did mention that they want to come for us. In that context, I don't know what that means. But I'm slightly concerned if we escort the civilians to the gate, we are going to be putting them in danger.
Will they be any more in danger if we go later?
Should we try and cause a diversion so we pull something towards us and let them go?
If we are their vanguard, if we go in front of them and take on whatever it is that we can
But
find.
then the thing would be in front of them.
Yes, that's true.
What's Ava doing during this conversation?
Ava has been surprisingly composed. Deadpan, almost, throughout all of this. You'd think you might have got a reaction out of, Orcus appeared in Prosperous's head, but seems completely calm. But that would be because I rolled a very high deception check, Chris.
Does it beat Mike's passive? I'm just saying.
What's Mike's passive?
I don't know. What is Mike's passive?
20?
22.
Oh, yes, it was a 23, so just.
So you don't betray anything?
No, really, really calm and composed, but inside is thinking furiously about
Okay.
the voice in her head
Yep.
and the wand and maybe some competing priorities and ephemera and whose side she wants to be on and how on earth she's going to get out of this one.
Nice.
As you're thinking, you have a rivet from your shoulder. I have sent Felipe to just keep you company in your stoicism.
Really, mindlessly, or just...
Petting the toad.
Petting the frog.
Really likes having his chin stroked.
Sweet.
He's a cute frog.
And then probably at this point, if there's a slight pause, realizes that she maybe should have been reacting a little bit more to Orcus appeared in my head and goes, that is concerning.
You don't say.
Yeah, exactly. The equivalent of smacking someone around the head for anybody else. That is what you say.
I'm sorry for interrupting the conversation. I just wanted to know. Are you going to talk to the abbot or not? I'm just checking.
I think probably on the walk. Gonna
Yes.
try and sidle to the abbot.
Make it out like there's nothing, because it's going to be the most suspicious thing. It's like, Abbott, could you not come with us? I think that'll, we need a subtle hand.
Okay. Yes, subtle. With
Interrogation,
a gun.
that's all. During the march, we need an interrogating of the abbot.
Is there anything else to discuss, or do you want to move forward to the point when you're leaving? Because it's almost been an hour of real game time, so...
I imagine while we're getting ready for, he's going to sort of not quite take control, but get all the guards to, get themselves in nice positions on the outside with torches all in their hands and stuff so they can see stuff away. Because there's no point even attempting to be sneaky with a group of hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And then maybe ask Progress if she could get the, if P could get the shepherds in order.
Do we didn't actually come to a decision about what the tactic's going to be.
Nope.
We're going to walk. If there's an issue, we're going to draw it away from the people. That's the tactic, Ed.
That's not right. Else you can
Sold.
do it.
Classic P tactics. Sure.
Absolutely. This is
Albert wants a plan.
it's a different character. Not the same. I don't play the same thing every time.
I felt you walk into that church and go, who do I have to heal? I felt it.
I really did. I really did.
I'll go around and just touch like the shoulder or the elbow of all the shepherds just to give them like a sense of like, we've got this. And tell them to follow Flory's orders and Elvis's orders.
Perfect.
The people are buoyed by what's happened. Like, it's a bad situation, but they get a sense that Prosperous is taking some kind of charge, and they're not like, that's a good thing. It's more of a, in a crisis, that's a good thing. For the time being, this is fine. In the long run, we may need to have chats, but this is fine. And there is very much a sense that, because as you've all noted, Prosperous does strike a very, striking pose. Like this is a holy knight to him saying, it's fine, I've got this. And everyone's going, oh, good.
Okay.
Oh, good. That's dealt with and sorted. So that is causing a lot of help. Flurry being here is also good. Flurry is widely respected and known. The other three of you, people don't know, but again, it's that by association, you are assumed to be very powerful heroes and individuals, so this will all be fine. So there is almost a certain sense of like, we're going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine.
Cool.
Oh, how wrong they are.
That's exactly.
Now. Good. As you move towards the doors to depart, and the doors have been opened by this point, all the barricades have been taken out of the way. Night is falling, but it hasn't entirely fallen. It is on the way, very clearly on the way. And you are now moving forward with this group. Do you want to describe how the marching order is a ridiculous concept with a group this big, but do you want to try and describe how this, it's about 400 people or so.
Dear God.
How are you organizing this? How are they being moved? Is it in one clump? Is it smaller groups spaced out? What's the setup?
In my head, it's the Prince of Egypt animation.
I have not seen
Orcus,
this.
let my people go. I might be too on the nose, but anyway. Good. So you move out with this group. I'm going to say that the guards are forming a loose perimeter.
Yes.
And the shepherds will work in almost a vanguard position. Interesting. Would you lot be in a vanguard position, or would you be taking up the rear?
I just spread us out a little bit, but not to the point where we can't communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Because I was going to plot Rory at the front because of his perception and passive. He will pick up some stuff a lot quicker than most coming at the front. But if people think there might be a better idea.
Also, do we want Prosperous to be a figurehead?
No.
Got you. In which case, go at the back.
Well, I was going to go at the side or somewhere I can like nab the abbot for 2 minutes.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Okay.
Because this is such a large group of people. If you
were going to try and scatter this group of people, you'd come at them from the side. So it's probably the most tactically sound place to put your tank.
True.
If you're going to be around this group of people, and it's a lot of people, you will not be close to each other. You'll be within about 30 feet of each other, I'd say. Okay. If you space out pretty evenly and move around and people squish together a little bit, which we can assume that they do. But you're not within like 5-10 feet of each other unless you specifically want to be.
How many people have got message?
No, but I am telekinetic.
Oh, well, of course. That's only because that means we can...
Telepathic, I hope. If you're telekinetic, you just whack people's heads around.
I was too confused.
I want to talk.
Yeah, Kines. Doesn't matter, it's Greek. Right, so, good. Right. Yes, so are you separating yourselves out Or are you staying in sort of smaller groups? Like Froy's at the front and Prosperous at the side. Anyone else got any particularly strong feelings? Or
I
thoughts?
think Viorica's going to be at the back.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to be in between Frory and Prosperous,
Okay.
just geometrically. Because I think something will attack them first, and if it's got a wand, I want to be within reach of it.
Cool.
Good. Ephemera, any strong feelings?
I would like to be tagging along weirdly behind Ava. Like,
Oh, good. I didn't want to be like, I stay with Ephemera, but I didn't want to.
it's like mother hen and duckling. Like, you can't get rid of me.
That's lovely.
In which case, you are all within then about 20 feet of each other because you're all quite close knit and Viorica's about 60 feet away.
Okay. Oh, man. Yeah, the edgelord's at the back. That's fine.
Which edgelord? You've got a multiple choice.
I think
God,
if
yeah,
Elvis,
now.
sorry, I think if Elvis sees this is what's happening, then they will suggest that the three heavies join in take up the other side of this, which is totally unguarded, moving towards the back to back up Viorica if necessary, and Elvis and Marjolaine will stay at the front. The abbot will probably be at the front of this unless you pull him aside relatively early, Prosperous. The abbot would probably be like should probably lead everyone out and be gone.
It's all right, Abby. You just walk next to me for a little bit.
Oh, okay. right you are. That's not the voice. All right, if you all right.
That's the voice.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Just briefly, then you can go and lead people.
all right. Well, I'm right here if you need me.
I can see that.
Can cast spells and all, I'm not useless.
Oh, we're having our conversation right now.
Are we having a conversation?
What's the well?
The what?
The well. Capital letters. The well.
You are all moving out of the abbey and making your way up the path, Cops on your left, up the path to the centre of Goldenfields town, which you'll then turn and head down towards the gate with the group of everyone. I'm sorry, the well?
Orcus thinks you know the well?
Orcus thinks I know things.
Yes.
That's not reassuring. I don't like being thought about by demon lords.
Well, if Orcus thinks you know, you might know. So if you know, could you tell me? It might be important.
I mean, I'm rolling a history check for...
Just completely useless.
He's not a complete fool.
Just completely worthless.
Rolled all right. The only thing I can think of is that there was... Well...
Yes, a well.
Yes. Difficult that that's a part of speech and also what you're asking about. I mean, there's been a rumor for years that there's some kind of holy site in Goldenfields, but there aren't many places to hide it, so don't know where it'd be. It's mostly fields.
Right, that was incredibly unhelpful. Any other
just saying.
rumours that you know of?
Well, the rumor was it was some kind of, it's the reason Goldenfields is here. Because Goldenfields could have been anywhere, but it's here.
Because there's some sort of whole... Goldenfield is a holy site.
I know, but that's why I say it's a rumor. I've heard about it a few times from various people saying they're looking for it, but always taking it as some kind of, adventurous types looking for adventure and that sort of thing.
Right.
But I don't want to be presumptuous about them anymore. I've spent my lifetime being a bit presumptuous about people like that, so I should probably revise that. Maybe it's a possibility.
Who would... Don't tell me the barrel tree.
Barrel tree is one of the oldest trees here, so if there is something like that, maybe they'd know, but I've never spoken to the barrel tree. It's not really my sort of speed,
Anyone else you think might know? Aside from the barrel tree.
No one's been around for longer than
Barrel
me
tree.
or barrel tree or
Right.
some of the other trees maybe.
I'm getting a strong sense that we should go and talk to the barrel tree.
Feels like the DM's pushing you in that direction. That's right.
And yet we're going in the opposite direction.
says the abbot.
All right, feel free to go and stand at the front and lead the way. Now.
No, you're right. You've made your point, and you're not wrong. I'll learn more by following.
We've just talked to some people, find out what they do.
I do that all the time. That's Bill.
What does Bill do?
Bill works with the pigs. He gets on with them quite well. They have a good rapport.
You go.
Perfect.
Sometimes feels a little lonely. But it's all right. He tells me all about it, and I tell him he's all right. I know these people.
I know.
Just no good at protecting them, I guess.
It's like fall into silence.
That's about right.
Lovely.
Cool. As you head towards the center of the There's
a lot of clicking. Ominous.
rolling a bunch of checks, obviously. Yeah.
Like a perception of me at this point, of being at the front.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Why not?
Uh, 28.
Unbelievable. Hang on. No. Frory, as the light starts to dim, there is a sort of flittering and fluttering above and around. And you know that there will be bats that come out, and especially from the copse, that come out and fly around the rest of Goldenfields. They tend to live near the trees. Or in caves, if there were any. But there aren't. However, the fluttering sounds ominous, louder than usual. It's now getting to a point where it's dark enough that you need torchlight to see.
He'll pull a torch out himself, light it up almost like a signal for everybody else to on the outside to light them up as well.
Everyone lights torches. You now have 30 feet of light outside of this group of people, so you can see in, and some dim light beyond there, which you can get a glimpse in, but perception checks, unless you have dark vision, are at disadvantage.
I cast dark vision on myself.
Never mind.
It's fine.
Ephemera, what's the range? Is 60 feet, isn't it?
Yeah, I think 60 feet.
Cool. And someone has dark vision naturally, don't they?
I do.
Everyone except Mike. Good. So all of you can see more than anyone else. I mean, there are people here with dark vision.
Yeah.
Frankly, Elvis has dark vision, but you're looking and you're the PCs. There are shapes fluttering above this group of people that look, as you look up, they look too big to be bats or birds.
Okay.
About 50 feet up.
Too high.
As the group of people start moving around the, I say roundabout. It's not a roundabout. There's a central. At the hub of the wheel is a village green style thing, and the path goes around the outside. As the group start to move around the outside, passive perception. The highest is Frory. Frory, you hear the sound of hoofbeats.
Okay.
If it's in animal, like stock or horse?
Like a horse.
Right, okay. Clip a copper.
Maybe
He
it's
will.
Harry.
He'll
Oh yes,
pull his-
your summoned steed, Harry the horse, who's not appeared so far in this adventure, and we don't know where Harry is.
We'll pull High Noon out and just sort of like prepare.
Mhm.
I will, I guess, hold a shot just in case.
Sure, no problem. Do you have your elemental ring on?
Yes, he will twist it to back to fire, I think, for now.
Sorry. Yorker is nowhere near. It's just there's more burning. That's not necessarily a good thing.
With coming down, those with dark vision can see this. On the far side of the green, a figure is riding through the green towards the group of you.
start running to the front of the line.
Gliding, but also yes.
So you're all,
There's like plate mail running like a chonk, a chonk, a chonk, a chonk,
Yes,
a chonk.
group of
that
people
starts
are-
happening. And
you were right. This group of people spread out, and this figure, if it does run and attack, this group is going to attack the center of it, not the front of it.
oh,
Then
Where I think the
impact.
and also slightly away from the people, so that I will intercept.
So you start moving out as an intercept point for where this figure is riding forward.
Yeah, because if there's going to be a front line, I want it to be not right next to all the civilians.
Yeah, that makes sense.
before Ava follows Pete, can I just make a perception check to see if this is a distraction? There's other people coming from any other angle.
Sure.
Thanks.
From the things above it.
Perception is not as good as I thought it was, but that is a 19, so 22.
You've already seen these strange flying things above. You probably reckon that this may be a distraction for them, or that they might be involved somehow. There's something flying above you that definitely shouldn't be there.
Can I channel divinity on my sword, please?
Nice.
Why are we whispering?
Because it feels dodgy. I just I'm going to pull my sword out, and as I do, the golden magic goes up it, and it begins to glow with divine magical energy. I'm sorry, you can't see my hands because they're above my head. Yeah, golden divine energy. It now light extends from it.
Perfect.
Can I cast mage armor on myself, please?
You had it cast on you before. It lasts for 8 hours.
We haven't had a long rest. We've had a long rest, but not a long rest. It's still up. Amazing.
Exactly. Save your spell slots, goddammit.
3-1, but still.
Oh, of course you do. Bloody. Anyway,
Nice.
as P pulls out this gigantic sword, and as it lights, you can now all see this figure charging towards you on the back of a hoist.
Oh, right.
This figure does not have a head.
Oh, good.
That's nice.
Love it.
A headless...
That's a good engage for my action. It don't have a head. But,
This is where now. I don't know. Yeah.
A headless horse person is charging towards you. The steed they are riding on has fiery hooves and flames licking out of where its mane would be on the back of its head.
So metal.
And
Yes, I mean, really, I'm loving
in its
it.
hand, it is holding a scythe. Roll me a history check, please.
12.
You think you recognize this figure, but it's hard without the head.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
That makes sense.
And as this figure charges,
Who do I think I recognise them as?
who do you know who wields a scythe?
Me,
Where did you get the scythe from?
the bastard.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You think you recognize the ex-leader of the Shepherds?
Ugh,
Sans head
no, he
riding
killed
towards
Edie.
you. Can we all please roll initiative?
Okay. Oh, let's take this down.
I
Oh,
rolled
for
a
pity's sake. 8.
classic,
8.
classic prosperous roll. I've rolled a 3.
Oh, hang on. Hang on. The encounter track has done a weird thing. I need to just reset it.
Fair enough. So, have you and I both just managed to get 7 in total on our rolls? That's impressive.
I mean, I always roll like 5s prosperous.
It's just the way that happens.
He just goes last every
There
time.
we go. Good. Sorry
Takes a
about
bit of time to get going, but when he does,
Sorry, there was a 7 for you, Ed?
8.
8.
8.
Which is no better.
No.
Foray? Anyone really? Just jam out.
12.
12.
Great.
14.
14.
15.
15.
Yeah, he's just going first at 3.
Amazing.
It built up and then it collapsed.
Look, my dice are my dice. They
That's
don't like
true.
initiative.
It's just one of the things that happen.
Was I
Unbelievably.
able to get off my held action, or was I a little too vague to be able to shoot it?
No, I'd say you'd be able to get off your held action. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well,
Where are you aiming for?
To be fair, as a shooter, you always should shoot centre mass.
Okay.
What What were you
The biggest.
hoping? I was going to say the head.
No.
Center mass. That's like
I just wanted to check things. It's
That's
fine.
a non-natural 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
That hits. Yes.
That's just
Bang.
damage. Or no sneak attack.
I'm afraid not. There's no one within range.
No, I've not given that for a reason.
Am I not within range?
You're not within 5 feet. No. The figure has charged forward, and we are entering initiative with the figure being 30 feet away, so everyone can run up to it if they want to.
So,
Not that it
so
will
we've got 13 piercing damage and 3 fire damage, but I imagine with it have a flaming thing, it might not do anything.
That's the horse that's on fire. The rider isn't.
Oh, okay. So 3 fire damage on top, so 16.
Thank you. Splendid.
Given as there was time, but I didn't say it, can I have whacked out my form of dread in the clip-clopping towards us? Or is there not
Yes.
time?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool.
Fine.
Drippy hag face.
He's on.
excellent.
Ephemera, it is your turn. You are first in initiative with a 15. Everyone, even the monsters, rolled poorly.
Oh, well.
Oh no. In which case, okay, if I were to summon an elemental of some variety,
Yes, do it.
do I have any inclination of what would be beneficial in this situation?
Nice.
Radiant?
That's a very interesting question. I mean, do you mean as in the classics, like earth, air, fire, or water? Because are you using summon elemental, or are you
Yes, I
using or summon elemental spirit, which is the one that works differently?
I'm using conjure elemental.
Right. Evie, as your DM, I'm going to just remind you that if you lose concentration on this spell, it goes berserk and attacks whoever it wants to. I'm just checking that you're aware of that. Yeah, fine, good.
I'm aware,
Good.
I'm aware.
Just checking. It's a thing that I, as a player, have fallen foul of, where I was killed
Yes.
by my own elemental. I'm just saying. What's
Wow.
that, druid? Anyway, cool. A fire elemental would give a lot of light, which means it would add a lot of light to this situation, although Prosperous' sword is glowing and lighting up a lot of space. I would also say that
We've already burned enough trees.
an air elemental could also potentially help hurry people along, or potentially offer like some kind of like air support if necessary, because there's things in the air that you don't know, that you know are there, but you don't know what they do yet. A water elemental can grapple people and move them away very quickly, which is quite useful as well, exactly the same way. And an earth elemental, because it can move through rock, it's probably less useful in this scenario, actually. It could potentially sort of block things, but honestly, they've all got pluses and minuses.
I'm going to go with an air elemental.
Yes.
How do you summon an air elemental? What does it look like?
So once again, the mycelium network goes out and it puts out a call, which is then answered by it coming back in and from the network and forming into the elemental as it grows.
So when you say put out a call, I had like, who are you going to call? It came into my head. I couldn't help it. It just happened. Who are you going to call? Air elementals. Okay.
Yes.
So in which case it spreads from you and then pulls back up. And when it does an elemental pop into existence out of it?
Yeah, it kind of, in movies when they're like growing from the neural network up?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of like that.
It Dr. Manhattan's into existence. Great. Cool. Grows out. Doesn't have a neural network, but doesn't matter. So the air elemental is there, and it goes on your turn, after your turn.
It goes...
Very important distinction here for reasons.
Yes. It has its own initiative, so it has its own turn.
Give it a roll. Go for it. I'll add it to the initiative tracker. Do you have a stat block for it?
I do not.
I'll sort that too.
It got a 12.
Thank you. Did you add its modifier?
I do not have its
I'm
modifier.
getting it.
It's going to be quite high, I imagine.
I may not have thought this entirely through.
Totally fine. This is why Beyond is amazing. I can literally do all of this now. Right, so we need an air elementals initiative. That's the main important thing. Thank you. An elemental's initiative modifier is a +5.
Wow.
Yeah, you see?
So that's a 17, which means unfortunately it goes first on the next round.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Muhaha. Good. Right, so I have added that to the initiative tracker as well. 17. There we go. It is in, and Evie, I will send you the stat block now. That's your action. What would you like to, anything else you'd like to do on your turn? Because we've solved the problem of when does the air elemental go?
I would like to just say to the crowd, don't panic.
I love it.
They've not gone yet because they have an initiative turn of their own, but the crowd have seen a headless horseman approach and are freaking out.
Yeah.
Evie, I have just discorded you the stats for an air elemental, which you should be able to access at the end of your turn. The headless horse person will use a legendary action.
He's a man. He's Torben. It's a man.
Okay, the headless horseman makes life easier here. Right.
I think it's Torben.
It is Torben, yes.
Nice.
The bastard.
The bastard. The bastard is played by Sean Bean. Cool, so...
Nice.
Perfect. The horseman is going to move, and the horse suddenly accelerates faster than you could possibly imagine, and is heading straight for Prosperous.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, I'm right there.
Cataclysmic. It's great.
I have a nickname for him that is not flattering.
Whole thing.
Perfect.
Why have they resurrected Torben? He's been dead for so long.
Because they want to fuck with you.
Elegantly put, sir.
All three actions, yes, a full charge forward directly towards you and is going to cut down aggressively with the scythe directly at you. Come on now. Do this. I have faith in you. Come on now. Yes. 23.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you... No, it's not a crit. It's fine. I now need to roll a lot of dice.
I'm back
Bring it
to
on.
full health. So.
I was going to say, you've nearly got
need
like
it.
200.
No, I've got 112.
That's plenty.
Is Prosperous within 30 feet of Rory?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Nice.
That's... You don't halve or take away anything from necrotic damage, do you?
No, that's Ava.
Cool. That is 20 points of damage from the strike, and another, because this is a legendary action, 68 on top.
68?
60.
Wow.
32.
Okay.
Oh,
That was high.
I thought you were saying 68. Yeah, wow. That really...
The figure charges forward and the scythe cuts down viciously towards you. And as it does, it will try and bisect you completely. The strength of it will knock you to the side as it scratches deep across your armor and even cuts underneath parts of it. It is a brutal, aggressive, quick strike. And to a point where you all go, oh, I thought I had the metal of this. I don't. This is faster and more dangerous than I could possibly have imagined. Cool. That is its legendary action. Ava, it is now literally cheek by jowl with Prosperous, which means it's very close to you because you were going near there. And I think all of you had moved up. You're okay? You moved up at all from the back? Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
In which case you're all there. Sorry, Mike, you wanted to use your reaction to...
Yeah.
Please do. Absolutely. And also sneak attack now would affect it.
Oh, nice, yeah.
That is a 24.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
Beautiful. Right, so we have 15 points of piercing damage.
Yeah.
I've got 5 points of fire, so 20. And then let's get some sneak attack. Another 15, so 30. No,
35.
35. There we go.
Thank you.
Good work.
Another shot rings out. Are you still aiming for the center mass?
Yeah.
The first shot impacted this worn chainmail that's over the top of the armor, which you recognize as being old school Shepherd design. And the first one impacted, and where it impacted the armor is basically gone. And as you shoot again, it explodes inside the chest. It's an excellent shot, but the figure doesn't seem to notice or care, doesn't seem to feel any pain at all. It is very much undead.
Is that in the sense of like the actual damage wasn't effective?
No, the damage was very effective.
Right.
It was super
Just
effective. It
double
wasn't
checking.
super effective. It was
Just double
effective.
checking the wording.
Yeah. It's what it is. It's an undead. It is an undead resurrected body. It does not feel pain. Cool. Right. Ava, it is now your turn. Apologies.
Cool. No worries. It was very cool damage. I've seen enough to recognize this as undead necrotic. Maybe don't use necrotic spells.
Correct.
Cool. Then, as a bonus action, I will plonk a hex onto him.
Yep, that's automatic.
And as an action, I think I would like you to make an intelligence saving throw, please, Chris.
Intriguing. Intelligence, you say?
I do. And it's not synaptic static.
I've rolled a 13.
You fail.
I've used a legendary resistance.
I knew it. I knew true. That you just succeed it rather than become immune, right?
Yeah, it's just
I succeed.
pass.
So that was Rowlathim's psychic. That was Rowlathim's psychic.
Oh, the new spell from Fizzbands.
Yeah.
I've got that as well.
Hang on. It hits them in the forehead, doesn't it?
I release it from my forehead.
Oh, damn it. I wouldn't have rules lowered too hard. I would just have been excited for a second.
Because there's no head.
There's no head.
No, it goes from my forehead. Which
The headless horseman, it doesn't have a head.
You can't target that. It's true.
So really annoyingly, it's not incapacitated. He's not incapacitated.
No.
Which would have been really cool, but I still burnt through a legendary resistance.
You do?
That's a calculator. That's not my dice app. I will roll 8d6 and then halve it. Fine. That was 35 points of damage,
Solid.
which halved is, are we rounding up or down?
Down. Always down.
So 17. But then there was a hex. I already popped a hex on him.
You did?
So that's another d6. So 17 plus 4 is 21, plus another 5 because I have maddening hex. So 26 points of damage.
Nice.
Well, I've already added the 17, so it's 9 on top.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry.
It's all right. Good. Right. Excellent. Any bonus? No, you've already done. You going to move or are you going to stay cheek by jowl?
Prosperous took one pretty sizable hit.
It was 50 points of damage.
Yeah. I currently have more hit points than Prosperous because I have my maddening, my form of... Oh, yes, please, can you make a saving throw to see if you're frightened of me?
I've still got 60. I'm doing all right.
I mean, I'm also immune to necrotic damage whilst in my form of dread, so I kind of want to be a punching bag a bit.
I'm immune to the frightened condition.
Fair. Yeah, so I will move in to stand shoulder to shoulder with Prosperous just to not leave P there fighting scary headless thing that seems to really hate P. So gonna come in and help.
One sideways look at you because I've not seen your form of dread before and be like clock it.
I'm here to help.
A little bit of just cheek falls off.
Clock it and then be like,
I feel supported.
sin more. Other also weird things.
Well, that's a thing. Okay, good. Right. Rory, it's your turn.
Oh,
I say.
Gun's currently out, so I guess I'll spin and take another shot.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything I'd like to do first?
I don't know. Is there anything you'd like to do first?
Ooh. How would trip attack work on a rider?
Knock him off the horse.
Damn it! My ideas.
Okay, let's find some
How would
else.
trip attack work? It would knock them off the horse. Because they fall prone, and you can't be prone on a horse.
Yes.
I mean, in real life, you can be prone on a horse if you want to be. That's your call. I'm not making choices for you.
Because if I can get them prone, that'll give Prosperous some pretty dangerous advantage. So
Scary crit territory, yeah.
I will bonus action, steady aim, and then use my trip attack maneuver.
Brilliant. Go for it.
You're not even using a whip. Anyway, doesn't matter.
I mean, Ed, you go before me as well. So if he happens to
If this
stand
one
up
doesn't
again,
work,
you can also whip.
I'm fully intending to.
Only an 18 to hit.
Does not hit.
No, that was
Yeah, I'm not going to hit either in that case.
Bang.
Okay.
As you fire, the bullet wouldn't skip off. I think it just sort of I think it sort of punches a hole through part of the body. It doesn't, like, it not even hitting its corpus properly, just...
Yeah.
Nothing. That's bonus action and action, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just deciding whether it was worth Axon Surgeon, but...
Oh, sorry.
I don't think so. So I guess I'll take that for what it was.
Groovy. Right. It is now.
I'll stay at the front of the group, still half moving with them, though, because I don't want anything to blindside us.
Are they fleeing yet? They're just freaking out of it.
It is now the group's turn. Elvis is going to shout out for everyone, guards and shepherds, to stay with the group. There will be a nod towards Prosperous of, you've got this, and we'll start ferrying people away. I'm going to do a couple of dice rolls. 1 second, please.
Hold, please.
Hold, please.
We have things to think about.
Interesting.
I thought this was going to be another cow situation.
Ooh, no, Elvis gives a... where people are starting to freak out and get scared, Elvis is quick, don't panic, go with the others. Everyone keep the cordon, and moving people forward. They all feel calmed by this.
Elvis is going to be leader of the shepherds.
They feel a certain amount of like, yes, this is, and they sort of nod, and everyone moves together and moves, no one's in combat range with them, and start moving up the road towards the gate, so trying to get out of here. They are all now...
My advice, I see.
They are all dashing, so they are now 6 feet away, so they are moving at quite some pace, this entire group. The abbot moving with them looks back and clearly wants to help, but the conversation that he just had with Prosperous, he thinks better of it and travels with the rest. Don't be a hero! Good. At which point it is now the creature's turn. Who is currently, it's Torben's turn. His name is Torben. It is Torben's turn.
Sure.
Torben is standing in front of Prosperous. Do I just keep going? I think I just keep going.
I think Ava's there as well, looking drippy.
Looking very drippy.
Ava didn't.
Ava did.
I don't blame Ava for my death and all the things that happened to me.
I didn't cause
You will when you die
Torben's
this time.
death.
Yeah, but Torben's not a nice person. Torben wasn't a nice person. Torben is very dead. Good, right. Yes, I think I will just strike out. I think because the first hit, he can see. Well, he can't see, but he can percept that he doesn't have any eyes. He can percept that he has done damage
Is
to
there like a head under an arm or something?
No,
or just
nothing. No
head
heads.
At all?
No heads at all yet. So he's going to strike out at you again, and again, it's just pure vicious anger and frustration, and strike out very, very heavily with what was it? There was a scythe. Thank you.
It's a scythe, Chris.
I'm sorry.
It's very important
I'm sorry.
that it's a scythe.
It's been a day.
For backstory.
24
and
hits
plot
you.
reasons.
I'm sorry. Does a 24 hit you?
Yeah, of course a 24 hits me.
17 doesn't though, does it?
17 wouldn't, no.
There we go. So the first one, again, digs in deeper, using the long handle to try and sort of cut up underneath your breastplate and scoring your ridiculous abs. But the second doesn't quite manage to pull that stress out. Again, it's two-handed. It's a flat roll, and I add the necrotic on top. So that is another 19 points of damage from the strike.
Total?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not the legendary action is the one that does a lot of extra damage because of the speed. Cool. At which point the horse
The horse.
Has a chance to do something.
will rear up and will lash out with its hooves towards Ava. Because the horse is also intelligent. Just the horse is not just a steed. It has.
Is
it
it
has
a nightmare?
It is indeed a nightmare.
Oh.
Nightmare.
That's cool.
In which case, Ava does a Ooh. Does a 17 hit you?
Yeah.
Shame.
Because you're not resistant to fire damage.
No. I'm immune to it. No.
That's 17 points of damage as the horse just reaches up and pushes you back with heavy hits.
I am still in temporary hit points.
Well, I tried. Good.
Question.
Yes.
I was right by Ava. Is it within 10 feet of me?
Yes.
Aha! Oh, it's necrotic.
The horse is not undead.
Ooh.
It takes damage!
Nice.
The horse looks very much alive. There's more of a fiendish quality to it.
Oh.
Just breathes in the toxic air around me and takes 7 points of necrotic damage.
The horse rears up, strikes out at Ava, and then just has one of those horse moments of like, what the hell? Where it's moving its head, but it can't do anything about it. How much was that? I'm sorry, I was too...
7.
7, thank you. Good, right, thank you.
Every little hurts.
The horse will then move away. The horse incurs attacks of opportunity. The rider does not.
Oh.
Combat rule. Horse combat rules.
Of course, I'll take one on the horse.
Please do.
Yeah.
That is a 31 to hit.
Well, yeah, of course it does.
Can I also take an attack of opportunity on the horse?
Of course you can, yeah.
Great.
That
Ooh.
is
It's a big damage roll.
30 points of damage. I'm not smiting.
Not yet.
You carve into the horse as it rides away.
How far away is it going?
They will ride 50 feet away.
That's perfect because I can make a ranged attack because I have Warcaster.
You do. I mean, it happens as they leave the 5 feet of your departure. It doesn't matter. It's anything you want, basically, because Warcaster means is that if they leave you, you use Warcaster.
I rolled a nat 20.
Good lord.
On what?
Hitting the horse. Well, I'd like to roll some Eldritch. Oh, yeah, I need to roll separately for Eldritch Blast, don't I? So 3 Eldritch Blast?
So I rolled a 20 on... I mean, are you Eldritch Blasting as it go? If you're Eldritch Blasting as it go...
Yes.
Oh, complicated rules question. I'm going to allow it because technically it's when it leaves your sphere of influence, which is 5 feet, which means Eldritch Blast has disadvantage because it's a ranged spell attack. But that seems punitive. So go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah, it seems punitive.
Lose the 20, that is fine.
No, you rolled a nat 20. I don't want to take it away from you. It seems punitive.
You're
Go for
very
it.
sweet. So that's 31 to hit, 25
Horse or rider?
to hit. I thought I wasn't allowed to hit the rider if it was a...
Horse.
Oh, it's the horse. Yeah, of course it's the horse. I'm so sorry. Yes.
Yes, no worries.
Keep hitting the horse.
So that's a 31, a 25, and a 17 to hit.
It's a horse. It's an armor class of 13.
I think I might be about to kill a horse.
Yeah.
It's a fiend. It eats babies. I don't know, like it's an asshole.
Are you saying it's a bad horse?
It's a bad horse.
Bad
It's
horse.
a bad horse.
Cool. I rolled a 9, an 8, and a 7 on my d10, so that is 15, 24,
Yeah.
plus the thing.
All the maddening
I can't do it.
hexes.
Where did you go? I had the hex on the rider, not the horse.
Okay, never mind. In which case, it's just the +5, so it's another 15.
Yeah, so 24 plus 15, so 39 points damage on the horse.
Cool. You Eldritch Blast the shit out of that horse as it rides away. It's still going. It looks significantly screwed up, but it's still going. It's not like this is fine. No, the horse is definitely now doing a sort of limping, oh God, why? As it tries to move away from all of you.
The poor horse.
It's a bad horse. Do not feel bad for this horse. It once stomped on someone and they didn't need to be stomped on. It was just cruel. Just being cruel, because it could.
Okay.
Viorica, it is your turn.
Right, so this horse.
It's a bad horse, Ed. I don't know how often I can say this.
No, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna through my sonorant sword cane.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shout after it. And there he goes on soon to be Yoo-hoo. And then the Tasha's hideous laughter. So it's going down.
The horse.
The horse.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Tasha's hideous laughter on the horse, so it stops and has to fall over.
That's brilliant. What's the saving throw?
It's a wisdom 17. Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. I think there's going to be a lot of
You're trying to add horror and scary elements to it. Come in, and then someone makes a horse fall over. I mean,
Fairy horse.
I rolled a 2!
Yes! Winning. Okay. So
Hang on. Is Tasha's a charm?
Oh no. It's a first level enchantment.
That doesn't mean it's a charm.
Okay.
Check. It's specific wording, but
Conditions. What do you mean?
I'm just going to check. I'm going to let it happen anyway because it's hilarious and through this game. But
Oh man, that 20 damage. Can I roll one more d10?
oh,
I
but
did
it might.
3 more points of damage to the horse.
It's just not irrelevant. Good. Okay. Yeah. It's not a charm effect, so we're fine. The horse,
Hooray!
on even more last legs than it was before, now collapses to the floor, doing whinnying horse laughter. I will do my best attempt at whinnying horse laughter. There we go. Except it's more fiendish. It's more fiendish. There we go.
That was more Father Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
He's
that's
like,
wrong.
nay, nay, nay.
It's a fiend, though. It's going to be deeper.
I'm glad everyone
I'm
was
sorry,
taking it so
my
seriously.
vocal box is what it is.
The horse falls over, laughing on like 5 hit points, just not well, and throws the rider, obviously.
Does he
Perfect.
take damage?
No, you don't take damage from that. Just prone.
Prone. Oh, prone is bad though. Can he not be prone, please?
Well, for being thrown at. Yeah, that's true.
I will roll an athletics check for him to not be prone. I think that's the fairest thing I can do here. Yeah, that's fine. I think as the horse falls, there's like a sort
Bounces
of
up.
leap and a landing on feet.
Yeah.
Right. Splendid. Marvelous. I'm so glad we did this, everyone. Right. P, it's your turn. Prosperous, it's your turn.
I guess I'm going to run 30 feet forward and then throw the sword.
Mm-hmm.
20 feet.
You can do that. That's fine.
One of those is a natural one. The other one is a 20 non-natural. So,
Well, the 20 non-natural hits.
so that is, wow, that doesn't count. Neither of those are good. So that's 17.
Paladin Maths kicks in again.
Yes.
We used to have Paladin Maths music, didn't we? The elevator music, wasn't it? It might not fit the horror theme of the campaign. Frankly, a horse just fell over and laughed. Like,
Reduce a horse to hysterics, the height of my career.
62 points of damage. I'm smited at 3rd level.
hot. Damn.
Out of the equation.
What does your smite look like? You describe this for me. Just to be clear, you have reduced it to 0 hit points.
Nice.
Yay! Oh.
Very impressive.
So I'll just like ram the sword into their chest.
As it arcs forward and rams into their chest, and also pulls itself out and arcs back into your hand, because your sword does that. The damage clearly fells this undead monstrosity, clearly wipes it out, and the spark holding it together is gone. Till it activates its mythic trait
Oh,
and regains all of its hit points. And as it does, a horrific wail echoes from the stump, shouting in Torben's voice,
Where's my scythe?
that's what we'll pick up next time.
Amazing.
I think it'd be alright. They didn't have that many hit points this time. So.
We dealt with fairly swiftly.
Let's just kill it once. Kill it.
Mythic traits be what they be.
Be what
Cool.
they be.
Right, we'll pick up there next time with all of the monster's mythic actions activated, and oh boy, but we'll get to that in a bit. Anyway, that's it from us for tonight, and we'll pick up there in a week. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone, and for taking part in the horror, the horse laughing horror. Massive thank you, everybody, for watching and for joining, and a massive thank you to our sponsors and supporters, Hero Forge, Elderwood Academy, Ultra Pro, D&D Beyond, Level Up Dice, and Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, and Warriors of Waterdeep. If you enjoyed tonight, we're playing every Monday from now until mid-December or so, when we do some Christmas one-shots. We're starting on our new shows for January. On Tuesdays, we currently have The Lonely House of Neverwinter, which is being DM'd by Sean Smith. These are all at 6 p.m. GMT, which is different time zones, obviously, different times. And that will run until early December, I think of the first week of December, after which we also have more Christmas one-shots, which we'll tell you all about once we can. They're all very, very fun and exciting, and some great ones in there. You can also join us on Fridays for 6 p.m, which is when we do Talk Together, which is our talk show where we talk to each other members of the community about D&D, TTRPGs, what this is, what it's like, and it's great fun. Exactly. Do join us for that. All of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find all of our content archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. And of course, there are podcast versions available. Just search your favorite podcasting app for rolltogetherrpg, or there are some links in chat right now. Yes, massive thank you to our D20 Club for providing all the support that they do. Again, if there's stuff in here where you're going, who's this character? Who's that character? What's going on? There's a wiki now. You can find out all about it. And check all that content out there, and help them add more. It's always good to add more content. Yes. Don't forget, we're all over social media as We're All Together RPG, and that's it from us. See you all next week. Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.